How you doing this morning, John?
It's evening for me. It's evening
yeah.
for me. This is it. Normally is morning. It's normally like 1 a.m. this time when the fights are normally on, when they're stateside. This is a dream. I have all the things I need. There's a little bit of sunlight still outside. This is how it should be. This is how things are for you. I'm loving this.
I love it. That's the one thing. It's like I was waking up this morning. I'm going, I was like, all right, this is gonna be my sleep-in day. I went a little late last night with the stream, and I've always said, I want to start streaming a little earlier just because of the European crowd. I want to be able to try to stream early. I always talk smack. I'm going to stream early, and now here we are, and we're getting to do it. It's weird. It's like sitting down at 1 o'clock in the afternoon watching fights. It takes me back to, if I may, when I was over in Australia. That was weird watching it in Sunday morning. Like, why are we watching UFC Sunday morning? Huh?
Yeah.
So,
and when those guys go to the events, they're cracking beers at like 8, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Getting into it.
Yeah.
And they're a wild crowd over there.
Oh, you got to love them for sure. Anybody that watch on a Sunday morning, but that's the same time as I'm over there for Christmas and it's the hottest day of summer. So that throws my whole world into a loop. I've got Christmas lights all over the place, Christmas trees, and it's literally the hottest day on the beach. I'm like, what? This is just too much for me. So it's a whole different world.
Oh, I love going to Australia with the UFC. Love it. Because it's around that November time.
Yeah.
So the weather's nice and warm. We get the fights done early, which is not great for the fighters that are coming over from, stateside. They're getting up at 5 a.m. They're making the walk at 8 or 9 or something. So it's crazy time. But then we're done. We're wrapped in the afternoon. We go to the beach.
Yeah. Then it's beach time for the rest of the day, which is
unbelievable.
Nuts. Yeah. It's always like the one thing whenever you would have to do, it was okay when you would do a UFC on the West Coast, because then you could do like an after party and things like that. But then when you do East Coast, the second the fight ends, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. And there's like, there is no, unless you can get that under seat, but there's there's no afterlife,
That closed door agreement. Yeah. The last orders is wrong. We get those lock-ins.
But it's one of those things. Location really matters, chat. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But how's everybody out there doing? I hope everybody's doing well in the chat room. I'm sitting here going to mess with it, and I'm over there. So you'll see my eyes looking at chat, and then I'm looking at the fights. Of course, I am pumped with John Gooden today. This one's going to be a lot of fun. We dove in live. We're right in the middle of a Rosa and Jourdain, so we'll kind of let it play out. But everybody should be able to, by this moment, a lot of you already have ESPN Plus. I'm just going to make that assumption. So allow us to be that second set of voices that you get to hear. I appreciate it. I hope everybody's doing well.
How many screens have you got over there? Not a competition, Jens. I'm just wondering, because I'm operating off all kinds of screens and cameras here. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Oh, boy.
I like this submission attempt. Here it is. He's got it locked up right here. He's got the leg. This is Rosa's move.
Oh, no
Rosa
way.
Got him. That's his move. Once he locked up that leg. Oh.
He's done it again. He jumps in on late notice. What a turnaround for his career, man.
That Darce, AKA the way he locks up, and the minute he gets that leg locked up, I always tell people when watching, cup to cup, right? But it's just weird how, again, he comes in as a wrestler. He allows him to stand up. Look, he locks it up before he even can get up.
When he's standing
he has him in full body lock, lets him stand up, locks in the Darce, and down he goes. And then watch, as soon as he can get that leg, gets cup to cup, boom, right there. And now it's just so tight. I don't think Jordan knew he was even in a situation. Done.
That is nicely done. Jen, tell us
same fundamental. So that's not a Darce. See, I call that, it's like a Bravo or something, the way that he locks that up. So we got the anaconda side is underneath the armpit and coming up, I believe, right? But the way that he locks that up is a different lock, which is 100%. Yeah, that was crazy.
We just call that, we just go arm triangle.
Arm triangle.
It's like, it just covers everything and we can't be wrong.
There you go. I love it.
Tell us why it's so important to catch the legs when you go for the Darce or the Bravo in that position?
Because they can keep moving out to the side. So you have to stop it. And you got it. Like I always tell people, you want to try to get cup to cup, and it's like closing the lid, and it just makes everything so much tighter that it's imperative to get to that cup to cup. Same thing in like a guillotine and things like that. Whenever you're doing any kind of quote unquote crank / choke on a neck. You want to get that hip in there. You got to get cup to cup. And if they keep running around the side, which is another thing, try to free your leg and keep moving around the side. And you know what I mean? But that's why, yeah, very important.
There's a fight which I absolutely geeked out on. It was Movsar Evloev and Mike Grundy. Mike Grundy loves to go for that arm triangle from all sorts of positions, but Movsar had he tried every escape. He got out in the end, he bailed. Like my neck would just twist off if I tried to do what he did. But if you go back and watch that fight, guys, then you'll see the defenses like framing off on the hip, kicking like Grundy's leg out so he could try and escape and then just bailing. But it was super tight. But it really taught me like how to reverse engineer that situation if you get caught in it.
Yeah, you want to get those legs out and start trying to get, ironically, just get as far away from them as they can. Darce choke and Rosa. That's crazy, man. He's just snapping them off.
Hey, listen, I was in the DMs with Lerone Murphy, who was supposed to be on fighting Charles Jourdain tonight. He was super upset this afternoon, and now he's seen that. I mean, obviously it wasn't a given that he was going to be the winner, but yeah, he was not. He was very upset that he didn't get to fight tonight, and I kind of think it makes it worse when the guy that you fought actually didn't get the win. So there's a lot of dudes that didn't manage to get visas or things just didn't align.
It's tough, right? Are they kind of demanding that 10-day quarantine when you come into the States or something like that? You have to do 10 days, so you're leaving a lot earlier. You know what I mean? And then going back, and it's definitely making it a tough situation to come across the pond, isn't it?
Yeah. There's all sorts of stipulations, and we're all just trying to figure it out, right? Can't really blame the governments a lot of the time. You know, maybe their methods over the last couple of years or whatever, but they still have things that they're battling with that's just unknown. So it goes down the chain, though, makes it difficult. But listen, it's hard not to pull for a guy like Rosa, everything that he's been through, and now stepping up, and it's just tough, man. I mean, taking fights on short notice.
Notice is crazy. I mean, but it goes to show you that one of the things that I've always loved is when you're climbing that ladder, climbing that hill, you never stop. You're never 100%. I mean, that's if you can get yourself into a training camp and, and you can push and aim. But for the most part, you just need to be rolling at that 70 miles an hour every day, all day, so that you can be ready. And that's what I always try to tell fighters is when you're climbing that ladder, you want to always be ready. But how do you do that? You get to be you just get to spend every day in the gym. It's like, well, hopefully I've got about a week to get ready, and then you just kind of ramp it up a little bit before that. But my hat's off to these kids being able to do this now, especially how busy everything is. You never know when an opportunity can pop up, and it can be a big opportunity. So it's good to be ready.
Yeah, 100%. But looking at, like, from a Rose's point of view, Charles Jourdain was a very dynamic striker. He flies through the air, lefty, righty, doesn't matter. And he can hit, he can put you away. So that was super dangerous. But obviously, jumping up, taking that opportunity worked out for him. Just not an easy guy to try and, not an easy guy.
He's kind of the up and comer in that aspect. And it's just, again, something to see him do is, I like that. And then what was it? 23 of 26. I mean, kids just got so many fights. It's unreal.
Yeah.
It was a tough fight for both of them. But again, it's got to be heartbreaking when you were kind of in control. And then to know that they can clamp on that neck at any moment, that's a dangerous feeling because it's just kind of like when you're dealing, with someone with that knockout power. You're going to have to make it 25 minutes and just don't let them hit you once because that's just, they know they've got that power. If they just hit you one time, you know what I mean? And it's off like a Lewis or something. You got to try to make it a full 25 and stay sharp because if he hits you once, it's a game changer. And that's something we know, again, with people with deadly, deadly submissions. All they got to do is just get it anywhere near that neck and get where they're familiar. And then it's, So you have to just stay sharp the whole time.
Yeah, man. 100%. Yeah, that's very cool. And look out for them pairing Paddy Pimblett with Julian Erosa in the future. Well, we'll see what happens there. That scheduling is now pretty clever. There's some history between Pimblett and Erosa, so we'll see how Paddy does a little bit later on. But I wouldn't be. They may run that one back. But I cannot wait for this. I can't wait for this fight, gents, because Jack Shaw is such a big star over here.
Yeah,
like
he is.
in the UK, 14-0. Like, but even before that, we were talking off air about amateur mixed martial arts. He went through the IMAF circuit, so he was a European champion at amateur level. He was just every step of the way. His career's been managed brilliantly. He's never gone too quickly. Like, he knocked the UFC back earlier. And step by step, he's getting all of this experience, and the team that's growing around him as well is developing. And it's been a beautiful thing to watch. But he's had over 10 changes of opponent in 4 fights with the UFC. It might even be as high as like 12, 13. I'm not sure.
Wow.
But he's getting a little peed off by all of these changes, because Ludwig, who we see right here, like, he's the 3rd guy that he was supposed to fight. He's supposed to be up against Said Nurmagomedov, who, despite the family name, he's actually a Wushu Sanda practitioner. Then we have a couple of wrestlers that stepped in. I mean, Jack's very good with his wrestling, but even so, like, preparing for fights, gents, it's hard, right? Mentally
it's
draining to keep changing it up.
And that's it. Not only, and then you can only change up so much, and then you kind of just have to get into that point. Well, you got to just focus on your game plan. What are you going to do no matter who you were out there fighting? We're working on this, this, and this. But it does when they start like 4 of last fights, 3 wins by submission, Ultimate Fighter 29 competitor for Team Ortega for Ludwig. And but again, having people coming in, different name, different faces, it does get maddening. You just want, can you just tell me who I'm fighting and let me just get ready for it? Because it does tend to mess with you a little bit.
And at 14-0, he's doing super well in the UFC. So he's got 3 wins already. People talking him up. He wants to be climbing. I mean, he's not asking for a title shot just yet, but he certainly wants to be like nudging that top 15 at this stage. And he's just not getting the opponents in his mind that's going to allow him to test himself and climb. And a fight's a fight, right? He's entering a fist fight now. He gets clocked bad. That puts him back.
No, I get it. It's always one of those situations. And I always think about, like, I like to use old school Chuck Liddell and a couple of people where they just kept beating everybody to get that title shot. But one bump, and it happens. We've seen fighters, they were 1 fight away from going for the belt. Then they got paused back. The champ had to he had to get rid of his belt. This thing had to happen. Something, next you know, boom. And now they're fighting somebody else and they're getting knocked out, and now they're not there anymore. And, that's tough, but undefeated 14-0, 13-0 takedown ratio, 13 in 3 UFC fights, former Cage Warriors bantamweight champion. And I know what you're saying. Like, I know that he wants to build himself up. And the hardest part is, I think, for any fighter in Jack's position is he has to highlight reel the fights that he's supposed to win. And I know what you're saying. And that's what's tough, because we don't know again, you're 1 punch, you're 1 kick away from, you can change anything. And that's what's got to be tough. It's like, okay, I'm going to keep trying to highlight, but dang it, I have to fight. Like, can I get somebody that I'm the underdog so I can shine? The problem is, and it does make it tough for him. A lot of pressure.
Yeah. Anik on the broadcast is talking about how Jack has his father in his corner. And tonight we have 4 fathers in the corners of their sons, which is probably a record. Yeah. And I've spoken with we call him Shaky in the UK. That's Jack's dad, Richard Shaky Shaw, who's a former pro fighter himself in Wales, but always aspired to be a coach. He gets so nervous before Jack fights, like to the point where he's nearly throwing up behind
I can't even fathom.
And Jack turns around to his dad and he's like, "Dad, it's all good. Like, it's gonna be fine." And he's the one getting in the octagon.
Yeah.
But it's what they have a very strong bond, Jack and I'm not saying any of the others don't, but I've seen it firsthand on the circuit over the years, just how strong. I used to remember Jack Shaw at the Cage Warriors events, when the kid was hitting puberty. Yeah. And now here he is, 26 years young, making a big splash on the world stage.
It's something. I mean, it's one of those things that people ask, coaching my son, he's 12. And it's one of those things that said, I want to wait. I'm very cautious about that because I want to wait, because right now we're kind of at that age where if I'm a little bit of an intense coach, that's daddy being an asshole and not coach. That's not coach, right? Yeah, so I really want to get to that fine line before I start coaching him, and doing stuff like that. But the wrestling coach stuff look at me and they keep looking at me going, and I'm like, nah, man, you do this. I can't, it's not my time. Right. You know what I mean? So I love to see that relationship with the Shores right there.
it's very, from talking to them, I'm going to tease this. I've got something coming out on Fight Pass soon where I've spoken to a bunch of dads that double up as coaches for their sons in the UFC. So I've got something coming out soon. But it's just so against our natural instincts as parents, right? We're there to protect our kids, but these dads tonight are walking out essentially to battle, you know, as real as it gets.
Yep.
They step into the octagon and they can no longer do anything apart from just maybe get some instruction.
And that's the hardest part about just being on the team, man. Just watching my teammates fight. I always wanted to be the one in the cage.
Unbelievable.
Here we go.
Well, let's see. Ludwig is a national wrestling champion back in the Ukraine. He's of Armenian descent. We saw him on The Ultimate Fighter. He had mixed results there, but he's got nothing to lose tonight. He comes out here just with everything to gain.
You know, I like this feeling out process. Again, you've got the, you know, it's just utilizing that jab and circling and the patience of both of them. I would assume, man, Ludwig would probably, I'd like to see him short. I'd like to see him probably shoot a takedown, but you notice he's pretty upright in this process.
He is, yeah, absolutely. Jack's on the outside circling, doing some nice work on his toes. He's been working with a really high-level Muay Thai coach that they've now got in Wales, in the deep valleys of Wales, Cruheim. He's a Thai guy that's now relocated to Wales, and he's excited to use some more of the kind of 8 limbs. And we've seen nice 1-2 there by Jack. He's just so good with his fundamentals, is young Jack Shaw.
And I like how he just kind of, again, nice kick, just flicking punches out there. You know what I mean? And that's one thing. And Ludwig trying to figure out how to get inside, but Jack is waiting for that range and popping him. And then he'll move in and out a little bit. And I like this feeling out process. We're at 345, 344, 343 in the round. And I think, okay, no, we do have a clock. Wait, do we have a clock? Oh, all right, good.
That's it. But do you think that's indicative of the fact that these guys haven't had a good look at one another over an extended period of time? So they're just trying to get those reads early on rather than having a strict game plan and just going straight for the jugular?
Well, you know, and that's the one thing, because you always want to kind of see what they're going to do, because everybody's going to be different every fight, because they're also working on a game plan or whatever that, if like, let's say they knew who you were from the beginning, they're working on their game plan, what they're going to do too, right? And I always say, when you're taking a fight on short notice, you have your fundamentals of what you're wanting to do regardless, no matter who it is. And that's one thing. Nice catch of that kick.
Nice.
And a takedown by Shore. Yeah. I like that. And that was the thing. They were both going for just kind of that feeling out process. And then Ludwig went for a high kick. Jack caught it quick, lift and takedown, and now we got him on the ground.
Well, this is where Jack is very good. Watch for him just working his way to the back. I've actually been down to their gym a couple of times. I got to roll with Jack. I mean, I'm a lowly jiu-jitsu player compared to him, but he was just so quick at just finding a way to the back and then just chokes everyone out. He's a black belt and has been for probably a couple of years now as well.
But see, I like that, because everybody, they have their paths, right? It's like, as a wrestler, I knew exactly once we hit the floor where I wanted to be if I was in that front headlock, where my direction was, right? We have our path, drill, and little bumps in the road. And I like how Jack's, again, doing a good job controlling the bicep. He's not trying to force this guard to open of Ludwig, but you can tell with the can opener.
It's got that old school can opener.
School can opener, but to make it uncomfortable, get those legs open so that he can try to pick a leg to sit on, you know. But I like that, controlling the bicep, throwing the shot, keep your hands off the mat. You know, a lot of that textbook things that you want to try to avoid, like as me being a noob in the jiu-jitsu world. I know, don't let my hands hit the canvas, you know. When I'm on top, Don't let the hands touch the canvas. But see all he was looking for, and now he just passes it. The minute Ludwig broke that guard, now nice. He's sitting in half guard. This is where he wanted to be, with an arm triangle, having pushed up against the fence.
I think he's trying to, is he looking to go? Yeah, he's looking to try and get to side mount. Control. I was going to try and go mount,
right? Go side?
Side and then mount.
I like how he's passing with the knees.
Yeah. Everyone in his gym that had been there a while, when I rolled with them, they all had the same method. They all had that MMA grappling, very linear, smash through, cut through. Yeah, exactly this. Look at this.
Oh, look at this arm triangle. Even with the fence.
Even that's going to be difficult, though, right? Tight. Because is he trying to kick off at the moment with his left leg?
I think he's trying to kick him away from the fence and give some space. Now he'll go right into the mount.
He can still get it here, though, right from the mount. if he gets his chest over this arm, maybe. I think he's trying to move it. Yeah, clever.
Yeah, now he gives up. So now Ludwig goes to all fours, fighting the hands, gives up his back to his feet. Nice job. Good transition by both.
Yeah.
Way to get out of it, Ludwig. But
yeah,
Shore's got him pushed up against. I like to see that control. And then he's just going to try to lift him too high up on the body. He's got to get a little lower if he's going to lift him.
He's got options though, right, gents? As young Jack. He seems to be finding options. He's got an answer for everything that Ludwig's trying to come back with each time.
Yeah, and I like that he's not overdoing it. But again, now Ludwig, though, good job right there. You can tell the wrestler gets in double underhooks and now has him pushed up against the fence. He's got to try to control that underhook side. But again, good elbow by Shore.
Nice elbow.
Good grappling by both of them. Good,
yeah.
I mean, pummeling. I apologize. Well, I don't know. Round one, what a feeling out process.
So his dad in the corner called him Tank after Tank Abbott, because when Jack was younger, he was a big kid.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He was a big boy. He's lost a lot of weights to be competing at featherweight or bantamweight.
Total strikes, we've got 1 takedown. Well, we've got 11 significant strikes, 20 total strikes by Shore, 7 for Ludwig. He's going to have to, like I said, he's going to have to figure out the wrestling side of this. He's walking around. He opted not to sit down in the corner, drinking his water. He looks like he's ready. He's just going to have to figure it out as a wrestler.
What do you think about not sitting in the corner? Because I've spoken to Henry Hoof before, and it's like, if my guy needs to sit down between rounds in a 3-round contest, then we're not prepared enough.
Yep. I don't necessarily know if I look at it as like being prepared or not. It's just some people like to just sit down and maybe you can stretch on their legs. But if you can stand up, I'm for it, because that whole standing back up, it's like you never know. That could be enough to do something to you. But if you can stand and you're confident, but either way, if you're confident in your training and stuff like that, if there's a purpose, like I said, they're messing with the legs or something, then sit down. If not, I mean, it's just almost like natural, isn't it? It's almost natural. See, they're giving finger warning. What do you think about that? It was one of the things I've been telling Chat for a long time now. Chin down, hands up, fingers. And I noticed the refs are starting to do that a lot more. Fingers, because people are always throwing them out like little for the eye pokes.
Yeah, it's so, I mean, it's a very dangerous thing, right? When the speed and the power, these are elite level athletes, you're throwing that arm out. And if these fingers go in the eye socket, I'm sure you've taken some horrible eye pokes in your time,
buddy. Yeah,
I've had one in just from grappling, and I felt like my eyeball was hanging out. It's just a disgusting feeling, and you can do real damage to the retina, right? So it's nothing you can defend. So yes, the referees need to be increasingly more stern about fingers and until the gloves become magical and they allow the grappling but curl the fingers, then I think it's on the referees just to try and keep everyone good.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing, is it as Jack gets the takedown once again by a big punch from Ludwig. He ducked underneath it, spun around, has the leg in on the side. And that's the one thing, is I think it's the only thing that you can do is train it. The coaches have got to be yelling it, because again, what happens is when people sit like this, then they get surprised and then they lunge out, and then that's when the pokes happen. So you just have to get used to, and it's something that you have to train. So I like that they're being a lot more vocal about this. Fingers, you got to be weary and just keep your hands curled. It's something you have to be able to train, and you should train it every day in the gym. Back to their feet and out to the center of the cage they go.
But it's difficult, right? Because when you're sparring in the gym for MMA, you're often not in MMA gloves. How many guys in 8-ounce MMA gloves every day? They're in boxing gloves. And when you frame off, your finger position is kind of like this anyway.
100%.
So it's hard. It's really hard. I can see it's a natural reaction a lot of the time. So
well, it's because you don't want to walk around with closed fists the entire time. So you just you're nonchalant, and then you get caught off guard, or you're just, whenever you're just kind of reaching out or just kind of plumbing, that's usually what happens, right?
Yeah. Well, of course, if you're a grappler and you're trying to, arm drag or something, you don't arm drag with your fists closed. You have to have open hands.
100%. And that's the problem when now we get into that glove conversation, as these two are kind of just plodding back and forth, throwing shots, is how much are you going to take away from the grappling and stuff if we start curling those hands too much, start putting mittens down too far? I
Yeah.
mean, what are we going to do? One round of boxing gloves and one round of MMA gloves for grappling? You know what I mean? It's just one of those
Yeah.
things. It really does come down to you have to train it every day. Nice 1-2 by Jack as he
That
pops
was
back out.
nice. Oh, that's it.
I like
I,
that shot by Ludwig, but stopped.
that was good defense. Good strong hits there by Jack. I have to say, coming into this, you got Ludwig, who's the national champion in wrestling, but I mean, Jack has looked so proficient. The leg ride that he had a moment ago when they're up against the fence is all wrestling based stuff. It's very impressive.
MMA wrestling will beat the wrestler, just like MMA, you know what I mean? MMA boxing, MMA Muay Thai. It's all a different world. It's how you incorporate and put them all together. And that's the difference is you'll see somebody like he's literally out wrestling Ludwig, but it's because, again, he's been landing. He's a big 1-2, big right hand. And it's where that Ludwig, again, nice shot this time. And Jack, again, sprawls. But see, it's where he's shooting from. At an international level of wrestling, we're hands-on. Pummel, pummel, boom, boom. You know what I mean? But when you're shooting from a distance because you can't box your way in, now you're shooting, that's grade school. That's beginner wrestling, right? From a distance. And it gives them the kind of space that they need where they can sprawl and move out of the way.
Have you noticed through your time in mixed martial arts that one of the biggest advancements was that glue between the striking to wrestling, the wrestling to the jiu-jitsu, the chaining elements rather than the individual disciplines getting loads better?
Yeah, that was the one thing as well. I was really big on it, then I got away from it. That dirty boxing, all that pummeling, holding on to the head, and then changing levels.
Right.
That was number one. Good counter left by Jack right there. Good jab. But that's the one thing that's kind of gotten away is everybody's either out here stand up, they're in or they're down on the ground grappling, but all that in the middle. And I'm just waiting for that fighter that's going to bring that back. I call it that backpack style where they go in and they just grab the back of the head and they've got one underhook and they're dirty boxing all the way down to the floor and boom. And I think that's changed a lot with as much as people focus on their stand up, that they stand back and they focus on that, or they focus on their jujitsu and the wrestling side of it, which is that clinching, that Greco-Roman, or that wrestling, that scrambling down on the ground with the legs. That part still, somebody that can come in and have a lot of that, I mean, it's impressive.
For me, of recent memory, Daniel Cormier, you know, the way it just felt like when you were facing Daniel Cormier, it's like you're in a car crash. It's not looking like there's always clean work, but he's making contact with so many things through whatever level he's at, however he's transitioning, he's grinding on you with something. Even when he hits a high crotch, I think with Gustafsson, by the time Gustafsson had hit the ground, he'd already hammered.
He's already had him passed and punching him on the way to the floor.
I'd still be celebrating if I'd have managed to hit a high crotch. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the first time what he did to Stipe, how he got inside with the pummel, elbow, boom, boom, and he blasted him from inside that pummeling and just flattened him with the short elbow. Inside, head in the chest kind of thing. You know what I mean? Sorry about that.
Oh,
yo, what's up? I heard that shout out. I love y'all.
That's very nice, isn't it? Well, hello to you, John Anik.
Hello, John Anik. How's everybody out there in Bisbee? We're saying good things, I promise.
So third and final round. And this for me, what you were talking about, gents, earlier, was making a highlight out of these fights in order to climb the ranks. But right now, Jack Shaw, yes, he's putting on an impressive performance, but it's not going to be glowing on his resume like a big kind of round one or round two knockout or submission.
He's fundamentally sound. Very fundamentally sound. He's out wrestling a great wrestler. He's striking. He's changing levels. He's showing that he's all around. He's going to be and is a great fighter. But that wow factor is kind of, again, that's the pressure of fighting somebody on short notice. They kind of expect you to go out there and just straight damage him. But we don't know enough about the other fighter to really, you know what I mean? To really go snap one off like that. So it's kind of a catch-22. He's very tough.
You can tell by the shape of that nose that he could take some damage.
Yeah, well, who is my kid that O'Malley fought, and when he took it in on short notice, and
Oh my good Lord. Yes, you're right. Yes, yes, yes.
And he
It's
just
from the East Coast, isn't he? Yeah.
yeah, the beating
Oh,
that
oh,
Montillo or whatever, right? I'm trying to remember.
yes.
But the beating, nobody ever expected
Oh,
that kind of that kind of toughness. He wowed everybody with just his absolute toughness. And that's the one thing though, but Jack Shore is he's showing everybody as tough as Ludwig is, you can tell he is just the all around better fighter. He just
yeah.
has a good Chris Mutino. Thank you, Wizard Cereal. Much love. Chris
That's the
Mutino
guy.
is what it was. And just
Yeah.
on straight toughness that
Yeah.
he was able to do that, And that's the one thing that with Shore is he's just as tough as Ludwig is, especially with the wrestler. He can kind of hold you and slow you down a little bit.
Yeah. And this is why Michael Bisping has called Jack the GSP of Wales,
Yeah.
of the UK, because he has that clean work and he's good in all of those ranges. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. And I mean that respectfully to Jack.
Yeah.
GSP is one of
Yeah,
one
but
of
the way
goats,
that he does this, basically what he's saying is he's beating him at his strengths and highlighting him with his weaknesses. And that's the one thing that GSP was very good. He was beating wrestlers, great wrestlers, and he was out wrestling them. And then good luck trying to match GSP what GSP does. You know what I mean? Good luck trying to strike with him. And that's what made him so devastating as a fighter was he would crush your strengths and then good luck matching him with your weakness. Good body lock right here.
2 minutes left in the contest. I've actually been working with Jack a couple of times on radio, BBC Radio, for a few broadcasts, and he's got such a great fight brain. Really good. He's a lovely bloke. You cross this kid in the street, and you'd never know he was a fighter. On appearances, and even if you were to have an exchange with him, about your daily goings on, you would never expect him to be the killer that he is.
I love it. Nice, good kick as he tries to break out from right there. And that's the one thing, again, the way that they're just kind of sitting there pummeling and the jab from Jack. Ludwig is trying to get his rhythm in there a little bit and pressing the pace. And now we've got Jack kind of moving on the outside track, circling around the cage, looking to land that. I like that long jab, 1-2.
Ludwig hasn't really brought much offense, though, has he? He's obviously determined. He's a face-forward kind of fighter. But, Jack moving on the outside has got kickboxing offense for him. It's not stopping Ludwig coming forward, however.
No, he's coming forward, but you can just tell the crispness of Jack's punches. See, and then again, like I said, Ludwig is shooting from a long distance away. He just can't figure out how to get inside and throw these punches. But these straight shots of Shore, the way he's just sticking them, again, just calculating. He's on point. He's precision. And it's fun to watch.
Oh, that's
that
nice.
Uppercut. Wow.
That was a nice uppercut.
Good left to the liver.
Oh,
good
nice one too. Wow. The chin on this guy. The chin on this guy.
Yeah, the subtle accuracies of Shore, the way he was able to look bait. See, there's that uppercut again right there. Really good. He flows into everything. He's been able to flow throughout this whole fight, which has made
a really nice way to describe it. Yeah.
And I think that's the highlight of what he's done in this fight, whether or not we were looking for a quote unquote highlight reel. I don't think any of his stock has diminished because of this.
No. And I think if you're a bantamweight looking across at Jack Shore, you're sitting there going, this kid is
another
a tough
one.
fight.
Yeah, another one.
He's a tough fight for anyone in a division. Like, where are you going to attack him? At what part of his game are you going to identify? Everyone's got holes, but I think you look at him going, this.
I'm not seeing too many holes right now, unless you can try to just kind of combination it, put it together, add in high amounts of conditioning. Who knows? But he's definitely the full package. The way that he was able to sprawl, push things out, the way he was able to land those straight shots. Ludwig just didn't know how he was going to get in and what he was going to do the punch. I mean, you look at it, total strikes 95, 78 significant strikes and 2 takedowns, as opposed to Ludwig, 25 total strikes, 16 significant strikes. He was just kind of plodding along. He could never figure out how to close the distance properly.
Did he say, was it 25 to 70? So triple the output for, I haven't got those
total
stats.
strikes was 95 to 25 on the matchup stats.
Lord.
Yeah, he was busy out there. But then significant strikes, 78 to 16, and he had 2 takedowns. So Jack was a little bit of everything right there.
There might even, that's crazy. That's a whole lot of output comparative output.
100%.
15-0, then he'll climb to 4-0 in the octagon. Yeah, if you're Jack Shaw's manager, you've got to be
It's time to get him ranked.
Yeah,
time to get him ranked.
Yeah.
$30-27. Decision. There you go. Still undefeated.
That's the important thing, though, right? Like, if you're going to have the changes of opponent, he was actually en route to the States. I think he was, let's say he was in Dallas fighting another fight. That's when the last opponent fell out. So he was in transit when he was finding out about his new opponent tonight. I mean, fair play to Ludwig, coming off the Ultimate Fighter, stepping up, taking on this challenge. I mean, props to him.
Oh, look at that. I mean, you got Font right there with the streak. Mirav Davashvili. I can't even see Mirav Davashvili. And he's right up in there with a lot of tough names. I just can't forget. I mean, you just almost forget just how stacked 135 pounds is. It is ridiculous. I can't believe it. And then you got to move into the middle of this with the rest of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is becoming one of the hottest divisions right now. I remember when. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I know a lot of people were about 5 years ago. The bantamweight division wasn't one that people were raving about. It was all about the lightweight division, the welterweights. But I've been doing some stuff with the UFC where we do the state of the division. We started with the lightweights. We did one for the heavyweights recently, but every time in the comments section, it's, I want to hear one for the bantamweight.
Bantamweight. It's stacked, really stacked. It's people talk about the lightweights and how stacked that is, but then everybody, same thing. Everybody's got a lot of love for that 35. They're going, you got to see how loaded. It's so loaded it's through the hill. It's crazy how many people are, it's nuts.
Well, and I think there's obviously some great characters and athletes that we have at 135, which certainly helps. But I have to say, I think that is indicative of the fan base getting more educated as well, gents, because I always used to enjoy watching the lighter weights because there weren't so many knockouts. The work is typically cleaner, more technical. So as a student of the game, I'd really enjoy watching that stuff. And I think that could be what's happening with the fans as well. They're buying into seeing what's going on in front of them rather than the raw power of the guys at 205 who I think
they're liking the rat race. They're liking the scrambles. And that was the thing. Japan was always ahead of us in a lot of that knowledge, and they would cheer and understood a good guard pass. They understood the ground game. They cheered for it, where we were still in that boo when you'd shoot a takedown or something. And they were going nuts back and right. So, but now everybody.
Kick him in the dick. I like
that one. Kick him in the dick. I mean, and I'm not even getting into the derogatory things they would call us, but I think it's one of the things we have a lot. But hey, I just want to highlight that this is our first stream that we are streaming both on Twitch and YouTube.
Oh.
So if you're hanging out over there on YouTube, by the way, if you're over there hanging out on YouTube,
welcome.
Pop in the Twitch channel, Twitch TV/UFC. We have a lot of community members over here wagering on these fights and hanging out, and we're trying to hit a goal. We need a goal. We want 200,000. We want 200K followers over on a Twitch stream. So if you're over there, hey, YouTubers, bring you on over here. Come on over to Twitch TV/UFC.
Come on over and
let's go. The water's warm. The water is warm.
How many subscribers right now? If the target's 200, where's it at right now?
With the followers?
Yeah.
Oh, we're trying to get to 200K. I don't know. We've shot for 155, so we're just over 150K.
Okay. Yeah, 200,000. I say, do you know what sounds better than 200,000? A quarter of a million.
Yeah.
A quarter of a million. That sounds good.
Let's go. A quarter of a mil. We want a quarter of a million. By the way, chat, how's everybody doing out there? Sorry, good. I gotta keep remembering. So, by the way, to answer your question, to prove that I'm not punchy, I have 3 screens. So when I'm watching the fight here, I've got the UFC stream up here. I've got the powers that be talking to me on Discord here. I go over to this side. I've got my OBS to make sure everything's on. I've got my matchup stats over here, and then I can grab my phone and have a fourth screen if I need. So I'm put together in a nice little cockpit. I'm set up.
You certainly have. I want to see that. I want to.
I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture.
I want you to talk through the tech setup because this took me like a little while. I had to rearrange my whole
I can tell you. Well, see, now I just drive it. The person that built this beautiful Cadillac is 8K Snoo. So I got it. Everybody needs to have their own Snoo pod, but I've got an 8K Snoo who is kind of over here running all this. So thank you very much, Snoo, and the rest of the UFC Fight Pass crew, the Twitch TV crew, the UFC Twitch crew. There you for making this happen. But yeah, they're making everything run on the back end, and I'm just sitting here. My job is just to drive the vehicle.
Love that. Love that. Do you know what I need to get? My wife won't let me. My wife won't let me have this. I want the racing simulator. Yeah, I need to say I need some
with the VR headset.
I just need that. I need that because I can't afford to go on the actual track. So like I'll probably be able to skate it back a little bit and get that. That's what I'm after.
I got you. My man Pepe, he's a little buddy of mine, Pepe. He's got one. He slangs. He's got the car in the series. I could imagine if you had all that and then had to throw the do the 62-inch reach. We got a 10-inch reach for Ji-Yeon Kim. 10-incher.
We need some Tyson-like head movement by Molly McCann
remember
tonight.
What we were talking about, what I was talking about yesterday, we were breaking this down, chat, if you were in there with me, is how is Molly going to get inside?
Yeah.
And a good way to do it is circle. Make sure you avoid that straight forward, straight back. Pick a hip and start to attack that side. But once you get inside, you got to make sure you do something in there, right? And make them back up.
Nice. This is a really interesting one. Molly McCann is really big in the UK. She's from Liverpool, like Darren Till, Paddy Pimblett. She's full of personality. She's a very warm character. Big crossover with football, she's great. But she
has one of the best fighting nicknames ever.
Meatball, because she works in Subway making sandwiches as well. That's great. That's so good. But she's as serious as cancer right now. Look at that face.
There you go, Liverpool. She's fired up. Look at it.
She's beating her chest. She knows.
And looks good at 25.
Yeah, she does. But on the other side, so Ji-Yeon Kim has been training at Syndicate, interestingly, with John Wood and his fiance, I'm not sure, but Joanne Calderwood from Scotland. So that's
Jojo, get out of here.
Jojo has been giving tips to Ji-Yeon Kim because they're on the same team, Syndicate and the Cindy Chicks. Oh, look at that. Molly straight out, 10 inches. I like it.
See, there she goes, coming in. But see, now it's that hesitation when she bombs her way in. See, I like that. Now she needs to figure out how to stay in and avoid the kick that Ji-Yeon Kim does, that Kim's doing right there, but utilizing that range. See, get inside and stay inside.
The one thing though, gents, about a 10-inch jab, like the arms are like mine, pipe cleaners, right, of Ji-Yeon Kim. Some fighters can walk through, they're happy to walk through that, right?
Yep, and she needs to, but it's when you get in there, because, you get hit with 100 BBs, it's still better than one bullet. You're going to score the points and you're going to win. And that's why, see, Molly's getting inside. When she gets inside, we need to see those 2-3-2 punches, those 3 or 4 punches, and make Kim be the one to back out. And that's what, she comes in with the big overhand. And I love how she's pressuring forward right now, throwing these bombs.
She's putting Kim on the back foot. And Molly's got amateur boxing experience. And I know she's been working her boxing for a long time, not just for this fight. She's actually been going to a boxing club and doing proper Western boxing. So it's gonna help her loads in this. I gave a shout out yesterday to Dakota DeChaver, I think her name is, trains with Lerone Murphy at Manchester Top Team. She's an incredible Muay Thai fighter who's making waves over here in mixed martial arts. She had a wonderful debut, and they've been working together. So together, lots of different mats from different parts of the UK are now sharing their talent pool to help.
We're growing.
All of these kind of rivalries at the very top end seem to be disappearing a little bit, and it's nice to see.
Now you see how Molly is just charging forward, and that's what I like.
What happened there?
For a shot.
Was that a headbutt? Was that a clash of heads? I don't know what has happened,
but she's got a single now, trying to sit out. Now Kim is Molly's trying to drive forward on that single. Kim's doing a good job of sprawling.
Oh,
You got to know when to bail.
It's a clash of heads, gents, they're saying on commentary.
Okay.
Oh, how unfortunate is that?
Well, she's working her way back up. She's got to try to put like a submarine, pick it up. I like, though, Kim did a great job of just kind of sitting there, heavy on the top, heavy on the shoulders, and make her work. That's what you really want to do more than anything else, is make Molly have to work and get that anaerobic going and hit that stamina. Nice overhead.
Oh, it works. Yeah, it did.
Nice.
She went for the Uchimata. I thought she'd.
But the body lock by Kim coming back.
Kim's taking
good grappling. Or good wrestling right here.
Yeah. She's feeling confident now, isn't she?
Yeah. That's the one thing, the way that she has it. Now she's taking her back and able to, Kim's got her back. Molly's just trying to scramble and get back to her feet. She's up, but Kim is all over, holding that back position and trying to bring her back down, and Molly's refusing to go. But when she got dropped, I think she must have got hit by a head or something and kind of fell down and staggered.
Yeah.
And then Kim's done a great job of just holding on to Molly. She's not throwing any punches. And that's the one thing, John, that I think a lot of fighters holding that position. See, if she were to just start throwing one punch, you create that opening, allowing Molly to. So this is what makes that quote unquote boring moment. But it's imperative to hold that position and really just kind of score the points and the riding time per se. And that's what she's doing. Throwing knees, keeping that body lock. Look how well she's keeping Molly pressed up against that fence.
And tell those that are watching about those knees to the thighs, because people think they're just something to distract a fighter, but I urge anyone to stand against the wall and have someone else knee them in. Yeah,
let somebody tap 15 knees to your thigh and just give it a whirl. So you think on top of, now remember, on top of what she's doing a really good job is she got behind. Again, this is my backpack style I'm talking about, is Molly has had to literally sit there and just carry Kim. Kim is doing a great job of throwing in that single leg, going for a single leg ride to the left. She's going to try to take her back. Well, she's made Molly literally have to carry her this entire fight with 38 seconds left.
She's got such long limbs, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's utilizing them perfectly. Molly breaks free and comes in with a good 1-2 pushing. She knows she's got to try to make up some time. Kim's trying to throw punches back.
She's going for it though, right?
Yeah, she's got to.
She's coming in with heavy combinations.
See, she went for a double right there, and Kim was able to get a hand on her, caught the double, pulled her up, got that underhook, and was able to stop the takedown. Molly's got to come in. I like what she's doing. She tries to spin one off, no secret, get in, but I like that. Nice. There are good hooks.
Oh, nice. Good
lead hooks by Molly.
Yeah, it was a clash.
Heads that dropped her.
Yeah.
Ooh, dang. All right. Sorry. That was a lot of action, chat. That was a lot of action.
It's a good fight. It's a good fight.
But I like what she's doing, firing that straight right to close the distance, coming back with that hook, just that 2-3-2 is what I kept saying over and over and over. Hit that 2-3-2. Let's go.
Rumor has it, Jen, she was listening to Twitter Spaces last night. So she had a notepad out.
Oh, get out. I like Twitter Spaces.
Mr. Pulver saying?
That was a trip. I like that one. We got to predict with channel points. By the way, y'all, man, make sure you jump in there. We're showing some clips real quick of the fight, but make sure you all are in there getting up those channel points. Predict. That's why we got those points.
How's everyone doing tonight? Are we enjoying the fight so far? They are certainly delivering. Lots of drama.
Here we go. Round 2. I like the way Kim fights. This is pretty impressive. I like her ground game. I mean, her wrestling game, I apologize. And the distance that she's throwing. Molly, again, trying to get inside.
So I don't know if you heard that, gents, but there are cries around the Apex meatball, which is a great shout. Sounds like some hungry people at a buffet.
It sounded hungry, right?
But it rolls off the tongue pretty well. Oh, step in elbow there by McCann's. Nice. She's tagging her.
See, and that's at what point, and what Molly's got to be careful of is, okay, if you're strategically trying to stalk your way in and throw those hooks, or when you start lunging, it's a fine line. And Kim is starting to try to tattoo a little bit, throwing that jab, throwing that right hand, because Molly's kind of quote unquote desperation. And that's one thing is you got to stop the desperation and get back to calculated.
Right. And as this fight goes deeper, it's just so difficult, isn't it, to keep that head off the center line and keep changing levels like Molly needs to avoid that range.
Yeah, because you just want to bomb, right? She just wants to
Yeah.
get in and bomb.
Oh,
Good
she got
1-2
caught there.
by Kim, and Molly's bringing it on.
Changing out there.
Molly wants to get into a phone booth and throw down with Kim, and Kim is doing a phenomenal job of ignoring it, stepping back, and a big, long right hand by Kim right there, and utilizing that reach. Textbook, utilizing that range.
Molly she said this is everything for me right here tonight. So she's going to leave it all in that octagon for sure. But this is a measured approach from Kim, who's had some mixed results in the octagon. Last time out, she lost to Alexa Grasso, who for me is on her night just one of the hottest prospects in that division.
Yeah. And one of the things, Chad, about links and stuff like that, even though it's on Fight Pass for those across the pond, it's still a paid membership, just like ESPN Plus. That's why you'll never see us bootlegging showing the fights. That's not how the watch along works. But you can easily get that $10 a month. It's worth it. UFC Fight Pass, and I believe for another 10, you've got ESPN Plus, and you're watching what we're watching. So it's hard, just jump in there. But otherwise, we're going to do what we can, describe it to the best way we can. But I don't necessarily know if I'd go into the UFC and sit there and say, hey, can we get some links? UFC is probably not the smartest chat to be asking that question. Can we pirate your show? I don't know if this is the one you want to do it in. You know what I mean? But now back to the action.
Some solid advice as well, Jens. Keeping people legal out there and not getting slapped on the wrist, because we know Dana doesn't like those pirates.
He don't play with it. Could you imagine this of all places, is the funny thing. And we'll have highlights and things like that. And especially on Monday, we'll be back on the UFC stream breaking down. But if you can find it and you can watch it, by all means, jump in. If not, like I said, me and John, we're going to go ahead and keep decorating this fight up and describe it to the best of our abilities.
There's my screen's not showing brilliantly here, but Jens, is Kim's face looking a bit swollen there?
She is, because Molly is starting to land. She's starting to land these powerful shots. I think that left eye right there. See,
oh, they got another clash.
Look at, she's landing the right hand, but she's got it. She's kind of standing a little more upright doing it. I wish that she could figure out if Molly could just get inside. Good elbow attempt. Molly gets in close, boy. She's really trying to rip her head off.
She is trying to fight. You cannot say that Meatball doesn't like a scrap. She is going for it. She is loading up these shots. She's looking fairly fresh still as well, which is impressive.
And hats off to Kim, utilizing the range as about as textbook as you can when you're fighting. Oh, nice elbow. She gets out, just avoiding some of the stuff that Molly's doing.
That's a big left
See
hand.
That left? There goes Molly again. Get in there, Molly.
She's swinging.
Oy.
Good Lord.
I love it. I love it with the left. I lead left. She's just doing a 3-2, 3-2, closing it with the lead left hook and a right hand, getting inside.
She's crowding Kim really well.
And I like it. And she needs to. She's got to get inside there and keep it. And if she could avoid, maybe doesn't even need to try not to back out and let Kim do the backing out. That way your feet are planted and you're not running into positions where you're not ready to throw the punch yet. Keep moving forward, baby steps, and make her have to move out.
Not a lot of kicks from Molly. Is that because it's going to be the boxing that wins the contest for her, or do you think?
I think, keep those feet underneath you so you can land those bolos the way that she does. Oh, here we go. We get inside. See, Kim's got to stay sharp. She's doing a good job of that with that plum. Molly drops down for a single, and Kim's going to go ahead and just sprawl back. Look at with the body lock, get the leg back. Oh, Molly kind of just peeled her off. Gets the takedown to end the round. GG.
Yeah. Now, I've got to say, for me, I don't love that takedown by Molly at the
No, not at all,
round.
but it worked. I think it was because she basically just pulled her backwards,
right?
But then caught her on the roll when they both hit the ground, and she caught her in transition, which kind of a good scrambling one. But yeah, a little more desperation.
Just a lot of energy, right? A lot of energy in a fight where she needs to rev up. Like she's looking for that big power bar, isn't she? And then just empty the power bar with big shots, and then step back, try and go again. The reason why I mention it is because there's always this thing with maybe some commentary, but typically people have thought you can win a round Like if it's a close round, you'll take them down in the last 10 seconds.
And they
you
treat it like
score
it's
the
a
takedown.
knockdown. Ah,
But it's not. It is
I'm
simply
hoping.
a change of position.
Okay, you're
Unless
preaching to the choir, son. I love you with this.
yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
If you take them down, you get mount and you start landing elbows, or you get some kind of a submission attempt, and you threaten to finish the fight, yes, that will score on the back of the takedown. But otherwise, if it's pretty neutral and no damage is made, it's the judges
If
see
you
it
just
as a
take it
change in
down
position.
and you just, all you did was change the level, and there's 3 levels. There's distance,
Yes.
close, and ground. All you did was change the level. You have to at least step over a leg, improve your position. But if you just go into the guard, and there was a time where people really would, oh, I got the takedown. They would treat it like it was a
Yes.
knockdown.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that they have kind of improved a little bit. You know what I mean? Where they don't do that anymore, that there's got to be you got to step off to the sides. But these two come right back out and start right where they left off in the last round, bombing.
Yeah. No, it's been a misunderstanding. And so it's just the effective use of your energy now, you know. And I think that Molly, I know she was in a position where maybe she was just responding, but she needs every ounce, every bit of juice that she can muster. Because it's a lot of effort to get beyond a 10-inch reach. Good.
Then
Lord.
that's it. And you can tell, especially when they're good at when you do get in, they plumb the head and they're able to try to fend you off, hold you off, peel you, and then you have to start all over again. If Molly could get inside and stay inside, it would be a different factor. But Kim is doing a really good job of finding that range. Again, we're looking at significant strikes, 66 with 77 total strikes. But Molly, 73 total strikes, 71 of them are significant. She's only bombing with 2 takedowns.
Right. Interesting little nugget for you on Molly. She's actually released a children's book.
No way.
She's got a children's book out.
I love that because Felice Herrig did the same thing. She's got, I think she's got a second one. Yeah, an amazing book.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Bia Malecki, who fought last week, a couple of weeks ago, last week maybe, she's writing a children's book with her boyfriend, who also is a fighter. So it seems a thing. It's a thing at the moment.
Giving back to our youth. That's probably the most important thing we all could do anyway. So I love that they're willing to do it.
Very cool. Yes, absolutely.
Here we go. See, again, I like how Molly's moving forward, but she's not effectively moving forward, as in she's staying just in Kim's range, but she's not in her range. And I know she's trying to set something up, but she's got to, and again, it is taxing on the conditioning, but knowing coming in, see, again, that big straight right hand and that left hook when she gets in, she's devastating when she throws it. She just got to do more of it.
Is it that the old adage of either all the way in or all the way out?
100%, 100%. And you have to do it. And right now you can tell Kim, there you go. See, when she keeps coming forward, her chin is up a little bit. I like to see her kind of get down that bowling ball, put that head right in the chest, so to speak, and throw those hooks. But Kim is staying active and throwing these shots. Her conditioning is impressive. And both of them, this is an incredible fight. They're both on literally in the 80s with significant strikes.
The live odds just popped up, minus 310 for Molly right now. So we'll see how the judges score this one. It looks to me like the heavier, more significant work is coming from Molly, but Kim is
doing a good
success.
job of she's moving backwards and just kind of coasting, and she's getting enough track to that she can get away from Molly coming forward and still sticking that jab. It's literally that classic range versus the fight. You know, again, what is Molly going to do to get outside that range? But Kim is doing and staying effective with that, just popping that jab out there, throwing a long kick, throwing hooks, you know, little things like that as Molly tries to close it. Dude, good left by Molly.
Molly's been absolutely chomping at the bit to get back in there after her last fight with Procopio. That went the distance as well. Kim too, she was very keen to get back in there. She's been in like a 4-month camp. In actual fact, she was scheduled to fight Botelho, came over to the States from Korea and actually stuck around after that fight never materialized. That's when she ended up at Syndicate. Sounds like she's had a very, very positive experience over there. As we said earlier, they got so many sparring partners for her. And from when I've done my research on her in the past, she's at a team called MOB in Korea, and it's a male dominant mat. I don't think there are many women that she gets to go with on the regular.
No way. Look at that, the head movement. Look at where she's spinning. Nice. Good spinning kick right there.
Oh,
Good kick to the belly hold by Molly. Okay, see, where is this? Now she is staying inside. And yes, maybe Kim is starting to run out and can't move backwards as fast. What it is, but see, Molly's like, let's go.
Molly's
She threw a
pointed
stake
to
right in
middle
the
of
ground.
canvas.
Let's do this.
Max Holloway style.
I love
Here
it.
we
Look, it's still
go.
moving forward, pushing. Good fight by both of them. Look at.
Whoa!
Oh, I love
This
it.
is
Look, she got her fight.
crazy.
She
Go
got what
on,
she was
Mo.
looking for. Throwing hooks. Molly's coming forward. Kim, though, is
Go
still
on,
bobbing,
meatball.
but Molly is, look at her, teeing off,
Kim's
gives it one to
coming
the
back.
face.
Oh, what
Unreal.
a fight. What a fight. Yes.
Oh, you talk about wanting to do it. She
Waiter.
literally just stood there like, what? That was
Hey,
nice.
listen, way to fight for your job, right? She feels like her back's up against the wall, back-to-back losses. Like, UFC bosses are there. How can you not give someone like Molly another chance? I'm sure she's got the victory
100,
tonight.
but here's the deal: 114 total strikes, 112 of them were significant with 2 takedowns. Where Kim, 95 significant strikes and 106. But the way that she was landing again with effectiveness, she does have swelling in that left eye, and it just, I think, the hardest part is when you're dealing with 3 opinions, right? And those 3 opinions are, it's kind of by watching someone kind of struggle their way to get inside as opposed to somebody just effortlessly just sticking pop, pop, pop on the way outside, right? Whose opinion are you persuading the most and how are you sticking in there? But I know she definitely at the end there, that's why we always talk about those last 30 seconds, right? That macho time. Boom,
macho
like,
time.
And
I
you
love
know
that.
And then because then they're thinking, oh, they don't think about what happened in 4 minutes and 32 seconds or 3 minutes and 50. They remember, oh, did you see that at the end? And that's kind of, so we'll see how it plays out. But both of them look good. Really good fight.
Oh, man. It looks like Molly's crying. Looks like she's really emotional here. Like
she put it all out there, 100%.
Yeah, man. She wears her heart on her sleeve as well. Waiting for the scores. 29, 28. Meatball Molly McCann. Well done.
Oh, you got to get it by heart.
Done.
I mean, you look at the numbers, and I'm glad. Here's the thing. I'm glad.
This is cool, man.
I love it. I got goosebumps. Dang, I got goosebumps all over the place.
Oh, first set of goosebumps tonight.
Yeah, first set.
She's been all over the media in the UK. Yeah. She's just saying her last, for those that aren't able to catch this, her last win was in October 2019. And tonight she's sharing the experience with Paddy Pimblett, her teammate, who'll be up opening the main card.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
But you guys see, they're getting to see it. Look at the pressure, the way she just pushed. You could tell just on strict determination. That's the one thing. You got to love her for this. She's just, I will not, I'm going out on my shield. And she did. I mean, she just bombing away. And Kim, no shame in Kim's game, utilizing that range. But again, 114 total strikes and 112 were significant. I mean,
yeah, unreal. And I got something else for you as well, gents. I commentated on Molly McCann's first amateur fights.
Did you?
On a show called Shock and Awe many years. We've got to be going back over 10 years. But yeah, I was there, like seeing her from the very start of her journey. When she was just a student, I think she was close to this show, which is very far from Liverpool. She was a student down there, and that was when she embarked or found mixed martial arts, decided to test her hand competitively. So for me, you know how it is. You see people through their journey. You've been in the game a heck of a long time. It's just cool to see people keep developing and achieving and living their dream, living their dream.
Doing what they love. And that's the thing, Paddy the Baddy, the way he comes into this again. And it's like I said, I go back to, I was there at Cage Warriors when Joanna Jędrzejczyk put the smash on Rosie Sexton, and I was the one commentating, and I'll never forget. I was like, look, man, this girl, all of y'all at 150, you better run, because they were right in the middle of doing that whole Ultimate Fighter. And I was like, this girl is something. And I was automatically going, holy cow, oh my goodness. I never seen nothing like it. You can hear me. I was going, this girl's going to be the world champ. She's going to be amazing. That right hand was impressive. So it's cool to see them. And then all of a sudden, then they pop up and boom. And then here they are. And, and they're living their dream. And then they're going out there and just laying it on the line and they tear it up. And that's why seeing Paddy, when he was doing his thing. This will be cool to see him in here today. I mean, do you think he's going to rise to it, or, that's the one thing, that rise, right? Because we've been waiting for this, and it's a rush.
Well, how about this? Because you guys, like back in the day, Miletich used to roll deep. Like you guys were all over a fight card. You'd take on the whole event.
Yeah.
So my question is, Molly has just fought. Paddy is up next, like back to back for that corner. So I don't know how they split those responsibilities. But that aside, like Molly just won, which is positive, right? I guess it doesn't make sense for me to ask if she had lost, but Paddy's up next. What is it like when you're in the locker room, you're up next, and who you're in the trenches with every single day?
Don't you dare drop the wand. Don't you be the one. Nobody wants to be the one. And that was like, I used to love it when we were all in the locker and I was first. I'm like, oh, let me set the pace. And I loved it. Let me be first, because I'm going to set the pace. Oh, back in my Savage days, when the old school UFC is up, back when I was winning everything. Yeah. I was like, I'll go first, and I would just go nuts, but, and it was because then I wanted to be able to, that way I could take everything off. And then the hard part, watching everybody else. I mean, again, it was the gutter when you had to sit there and watch your brothers, your teammates fight. You're just like, but you're just getting fired up. We're all out there hugging and pulling on each other like, like I remember Robbie Lawler when he fought. And that's why, again, with him and Nick Diaz coming up, that was hard the first time, because Nick Diaz is like my little brother. I've known Nick for a very, very long. He was one of the first people I ever met when I moved to Lodi and was training with Bob Shamrock. May he rest in peace. Nick Diaz, peace, I said. But Nick Diaz was the one that he was this kid just training at the gym, and that's how we became friends. And then Robbie Lawler, when he was a senior in high school, became my roommate. Like he was living with me. And so literally, these are like my two MMA brothers. Right. And now that they're about to do it again, all I can say is I just hope that they get paid, and I'm very happy for them. But the first time, that was misery to me. I didn't, it was tough for me, but I don't like seeing my teammates lose. And it's another, like, they brought me to tears. I remember one time I was just in tears when I watched Robbie win, or I see one of my teammates when Tim won the world title, or when Matt won the world title. You can see me, I was commentating. They go, watch out, Pulver, here he comes. And I can see Matt coming for the cage, and I've got the headset off. I'm running, and we're up on the cage, and we're hugging. And, it was wild. But, I get goosebumps thinking about that's that camaraderie. Again, what I love about this one-on-one sport is you're an individual trying to be on a team. You're not on a team trying to be an individual, and there is nothing like that bond. And that's why it's got to be tough now, because Patty the Baddie's like, all right, my turn. Yeah. You don't want to be the one. And if it does happen, of course, everybody's going to be there to fix it, but you don't want to be that one. So it's definitely motivating.
How can you measure that moment of celebration for your teammates? So Paddy has now probably seen what Molly's gone through. He's heard all of that. They have a little podcast together where she's spilt her heart out about where she feels like she's at in her career. So he sees everything. Now she's just won, but yet it's his time to go out and deliver. How do you do that? How do you welcome her back into the locker room, high five, cuddle, get back out to war?
Because it's your turn. And that's it. Okay. It's your turn now. Now it's your turn. You'll just give a high five. Fight's over. You watched it on the monitor backstage. You're warming up. You're getting ready. You're throwing your shots. Game plan is done and conditioning done. Everything is done. It's just time to perform. So when you're performing, it's going to be a high five, but now it's your time. And again, it's just one of those things that I know that he's going to, he's kind of just sitting back watching. You can soak up to it. But now we know, and there's that switch. Now that switch is clicked. You can't carry that. And I don't like using it that way, but I guess it's the best way to describe it. You can't walk around with that switch all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's something that clicks right for. It's that deep breath. I used to say it in the documentary, take that plunge, because this is it. This is that moment, and it's time, and you're about to walk out. The crowd goes nuts. That's your world. That's your zone. That's everything that you've done. That's everything that you've worked on, and nothing can mess with that. You know what I mean? And then you can go back to having fun. It's one of those things where you talk about is, like when you lose, you never sit there and go, poor me, poor me. You go straight to your corner and apologize. You go straight to like a meatball Molly. I'm so sorry. You go straight to your teammates. Then you go straight to the family, and then straight to the fans. You know what I mean? And you're apologizing. But that's the same thing when you win. You're running straight to your coaches, straight to your team. You know what I mean? And so we all are in this together. But the beautiful thing is you're individually out there doing it. Again, the best way to describe it is you're an individual trying to be on a team, and that team is your main team, your fans, your family, and all the people that are supporting the organization in general, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Yes. There is a brotherhood and a sisterhood on the mats. It's 100%. Something that I've tried many different sports in my life, but there's something that pulls me back to combat every single time, and it's because of that. You know, it's a team. I've said it. We spoke earlier about that. It's a tribe. Like a head coach is more than just a guy that's teaching you techniques. You know, martial arts is a way of life, and everything falls off of that. Your teammates between you, because some of these guys, gents, I don't know, like the guys on your team, would they necessarily have been the people in your life that you would have chosen to hang out with, etc., but you were brought together by martial arts or fighting? You wouldn't typically have them at your Thanksgiving table, for example. But now they're there in your team.
Well, you fight like brothers. You fight like brothers and sisters. You argue like brothers. You literally are a family, and there's no way to really describe it. But again, it's not like in team sports where you do have a lot of people kind of hating each other because everybody's trying to be an individual. Everybody's trying to do their own thing. See, there's the difference is you're gonna go be an individual for 15 to 25 minutes out there in front of everybody with but nothing but a pair of shorts and possibly some tape on your feet and some gloves on your hands. And you're going to be, and that's how you show everybody how much you love them, how hard you worked, your dedication, how much they mean to you. And that's what I'm saying is you've created something that is so rare that only people that do that one-on-one sport can truly understand it. Those combatives can truly understand it. And by the way, over 70% of chat is betting on Patty the Batty to get that W right now. All right, really? Chat. All right, chat. How's everybody doing, by the way? I hope everybody is doing well out there. While they're getting ready to bring them out, we can take a moment and chat with you, chat. I hope everybody's well. Thank you so much for being here as always. It's a blast. Hope you all are having fun.
This is a big old debut. I've been talking, I think of all the conversations I've been having this week in the lead up, I think most of them have been around Paddy. It's just he's being pumped up by the UFC, you know, coming off the back of Cage Warriors. He made such a big splash, but it's such a big weight. But it's just the way that he's not playing it down. He's like, oh, just pumping the whole thing up.
He's soaking it up. He's soaking it.
And he's just throwing more fuel on it. It's crazy.
And I love that he's embracing it. And that's the one thing, you know, Connor embraced it. And you know what I mean? And that's one thing is he knows the kind of hype train he's got. And he's got a big following. He's done a great job. Cage Warriors doing a great job of kicking out these fighters, you know, and it's one of those things that he's part. Now imagine B. Luigi Vendramini right now. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of pressure that he's got to deal with because everybody's Patty. He can literally, pardon my language, he could take a pee in somebody's Cheerios right now. People always say, why you got to say Cheerios? But it's better than Wheaties, I guess. So
I like that. But here's the other thing. Like we've seen Vendramini in the UFC 3 times before. He walks out first tonight. Like everything at the moment is like it's geared for Paddy. This feels like a Paddy's big introductory fight.
This is his ball, his debut, right? This is his pageant. He's going out there to kill it, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna throw some rain on this bad boy. I mean, that can be motivating just in itself. If you're Luigi, it's I'm absolutely gonna derail this train right now because everybody's always talking about. You ain't making that name off of me. You know what I mean? I was saying that a long time ago. I'm not the ball. I'm the bat, dude. I'm swinging a home run. 100% finish rate, 5 knockouts, 4 submissions, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, 7 first-round finishes. That's the one thing. He has 2 losses, but basically if he wins, it's by knockout or submission. He doesn't know anything else. And that's the one thing, to have a 100% finish rate at 5'8", 155-pounder. Yeah, this kid is, and his last fight was a loss. So this is one of those situations right here. This is Paddy. It's Paddy time for him. We'll see what happens.
Well, Paddy's got notorious walkouts. I'll come back to give him my thoughts, but here we go. Look at the smile. Look at the haircut.
He's embracing it, right? He's enjoying
it. He loves it. His corner team are like back in the locker room still. He's sprinting to the octagon, clapping his way through. This really did deserve Paddy to be back in the UK for his debut. I truly believe, just because we would have seen the occasion, his fans would have been there. The music, I don't know what it is. He loves it though. This is what he walks out to, and people respond very positively back in the UK to this. But the music stops soon. He's got to get down to business. It's crazy. There are kids in Liverpool that go into the barber shop asking for a Paddy the Baddy haircut. That happens.
He's got finished 12 of 16 wins, 5 knockouts, 7 submissions. Former Cage Warrior featherweight champion. He has people wanting. I don't know if that's the haircut I'd be asking for, but they got to be some diehards. They got to be some diehards. Right?
He's got influence, man. He definitely has. Knocked back the UFC twice. Former featherweight competitor, now at lightweights. But he reckons he's going to run through Vendramini. Vendramini has been on the mat since he was a kid. His dad is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach. His dad gave him his black belts.
Whoa.
And, look,
wait a minute. Did he miss weight?
No, I don't. No. The guys both hit the weight.
Because it says 161.8. I'm like, wait a minute. He didn't miss weight.
No, I think they're both weighed in. It's 150, 155 and a half.
All right, I got this Azure 2 over there on the, I'm checking out the YouTube chat real quick. Tell everybody, Twitch TV/UFC, get over here, UFC YouTube. But I was reading him. He's like, hey, did he miss weight? It made me pop up. Wait a minute. So one more chat to pay attention to out there. But the 161.8 pounds.
I don't know where that came from. No, I think they both weighed in because Paddy is, he still thought about going back down to 145, but he's filled into his frame pretty nicely now. I think that 155 is sensible. He looked good last time out in Cage Warriors fighting at 155. Vendramini is bigger. He put away Yesin Ayari as well back in October 2020. Darren Till went the distance with Yesin Ayari. So Ayari is a durable fighter. Maybe he'd dropped down to lightweight and that had affected his chin. We have seen that happen before, but let's not take away that wonderful first round knockout that Vendramini's got. But these two are like burning a hole in one another's souls right now. It's just so, it's just a juxtaposition, right? You look at Paddy, his haircut and everything, and then he gets all kind of serious like this. You're like, whoa, where did that come from? But he is serious.
It's intimidating when he gets fired up like that. And I don't know, like people understand, he's a lot of fun. He cracks me up. I remember interviewing himself right after the fight and, and things like that over there. Cause I had to go do the in-cage interviews after the fights one time. And, he kills me. I love him. All right, well, here we go.
Buckle up, people, buckle up. We got 16 first round finishes between these two, and they're 25 and 26 years of age. So Paddy does not look like a small. How did this kid?
How did he get so big? He looks so big. Good combination by Vendramini.
Oh, look at that head kick! Listen, Vendramini under Mark Montoya, Factory X. Those guys know how to strike over there.
Did you see that wheel kick by Pimlet that Vendramini was able to duck underneath and fire 2 comboed shots that missed? But these two were throwing right off the bat.
And head kicks, going 1-for-1 with head kicks.
Okay.
Well, they're certainly looking to shut the show out pretty early on.
I like the way that they're both going right after. Nice calf kick by Luigi.
Yes, they could really pay dividends.
Did you see that right there? So Vendramini tried to come in with the right left hook, and
he's dropped it.
That lead hook. Paddy went down, but he's back up fighting Vendramini. I was just gonna say that lead hook of Vendramini. He caught Paddy coming in, and he takes him down. He's got him in side control. I mean, half.
Paddy's got that underhook. He's trying to get his hips out, but Vendramini has killed that nicely. Oh man, he's
look at the way he's kneeling down on that left, on that right arm. Got overhook on the head, out to the front headlock.
Let's have a look and see here. Paddy has been submitted before, but Vendramini is busting him up. This is a rude awakening in your debut for the UFC for Paddy.
He's gonna have to be careful. That lead hook of Luigi is impressive, and that's one of those things that I was just gonna say. He's kind of catching in between him. Paddy was able to throw a jab in between the combo, but see, Benjamini is doing what I was saying Meatball Molly should have been doing when you get inside and throw those damaging hooks, and that's what he's doing. And he's able to do it with a little more composure, but he's able to get inside and land that hook.
Vendramini's moved away from his family in Brazil to be at Factory X, and he's kind of he was pretty hard on himself apparently recently. He's been trying to just enjoy the process a little bit more, but he seems to be enjoying his work tonight. Listen, that calf kick is money, absolute money.
The two that he's throwing, I hope he sticks with it a little bit. It's working. But see, now when Paddy starts just flicking that lead left leg out there, steering it up towards the head, you know what I mean? I don't know what if he's trying to get, there's that lead hook again by Luigi. Yeah. It's landing.
It is.
And
Paddy's hands are low. Nice combination. That's how he beat Yasunari up against the fence. Close range head kick.
His punches are on point. Luigi's punches are on point, Chad. I'm telling you what, the way he's bombing in and the way he's throwing those hooks, you can tell it's just a matter of time. Paddy's got to figure out to get those hands up, protect. It's the punches you don't see, right? Get those hands up, blocking those hooks, because Luigi gets inside and he is damaging with those hands. Slides out of the way of that calf kick by Luigi.
He's just not there, is he? He's ghosting Pimblett in there at times. Pimblett's coming through with combinations, and Vendramini's not there.
It's just when he decides, when he comes in, he's so effective getting inside, and he just those hooks. And it's that lead hook that Paddy seems to be having the biggest issue with, that lead left hand of Luigi.
I mean, at this point, you know, if Paddy's words are echoing in Vendramini's mind, you know, he said, I'm the big show, I'm the new cash cow for the UFC. But Vendramini sticking to what's right in front of him, not worrying about any of the stuff on the periphery.
Good one, too, by Paddy right there. But that's what he's just got to be careful that he doesn't get too, goes in for a single leg, go to pick up, and Luigi's trying to peel it off against the fence. He's moving around, good trip down. Paddy's still trying to force this body lock. Well, Luigi gets out of the way. Back to the Monster Energy drink. Here we go, back to the center.
He likes that front kick, does Paddy, but when he's landing in range, isn't he? You get it? That's when that left hook's a problem.
His right hand is landing. There he goes again. Paddy's picking it up and overwhelming right hands. Jump knee. He's just running over the top of him. Combo.
Wait to come back. He's only done it. He's only gone and done it. Good Lord.
Okay, so when Paddy decided just to bite down and say to hell with this, he basically just said to hell with this, ran right over the top of him, John, ran right over, just plowed right through everything he was throwing, decided to turn on the power punches. Meatball Molly's running up to the cage.
He's out there. That's a team for you, right?
That is how you do it.
Oh, my word. Oh, my word. I didn't see, honestly, after those early exchanges, I didn't see him coming back from that or like that.
I didn't, you know what it was? I didn't see him overpowering Luigi's hands because Luigi was landing. But look, right here, that lead hook right there got him wobbled. That right hand again, a lot of right hands, a lot of right hooks. Jump knee, 1, 2, 3, just bombing his right hands. Just over. I mean, look, he literally just ran over the top of him and just said, I'm going to close the show. He just closed it out. Threw like 40 punches. He threw like 20 punches. Boom.
But look, the way he ran it, I'll tell you who that reminds me of. That reminds me of the old Derek Brunson.
Yeah.
Derek Brunson, chin high,
swinging from his pocket.
Yeah. It was effective. It got him until he met Robert Whittaker. It was effective. But, oh, my word.
Look at Molly jumping back and look at Bisping jumping up and down my man DC. But Paddy.
That was dramatic.
You know, I think he definitely lived up to it. He kind of got pointed up a little bit in the beginning by Luigi, but it's just crazy to know that when he decided Here we go. I'm turning the lights off right here, right now. He was effective and just ran over the top of him. Ignored everything the kid did.
It was like, okay, time to like just do something
like you're
different.
just gonna beat up his little brother. Joke's over. Quit playing. Just ran him over. Just plop, 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 plop. Get down and just beat the dust off him. You know, but again, the pressure, the way that he's living it up at 155 pounds, making that noise. You know, you all got to feel that when Conor comes from the Cage Warriors and you know you're about to be that next debut, you know, that fighter that they're bringing from Cage Warriors. Jack, you know, is out there doing the same thing. But this kid, all this hype, and to come out and do it like this. And I love that it's a limited crowd. So it's a lot more personal still, but there's still enough crowd that he can keep the punch. I mean, I love the way he stepped up. Impressive.
He's been promising us a big speech, a big winner's speech, and right now he's just flexing. He's going between mean face to beaming, but
you see how fast he pulls that switch. I love it. The chat's getting to see this now as he's running over the top with the clips, the highlights. I mean, he just turned the lights out. Paddy Pimblett, there he goes. There he goes.
Let's see what he says.
He said first round finish. What happened? Look at now, Bisping lets him know. You almost got knocked out, by the way. On
a Scouser, we don't get knocked out.
I like it. It's just like I said, good left, just those right hooks. Boom. He's just throwing those right hands. It's all over. And just no care in the world. Hands down, chin up, just bombing.
So
now we just added another one at 55.
Yes, exactly. I know. But I mean, honestly, gents, after watching that performance, if you're one of the stalwarts of the lightweight division, you're going to be looking at that, fancying your chances, right?
I love what he said. He goes, I'm the new man now. People are going to be calling me out. I've only been in here for one fight. Meatball Molly going up there and throwing love. He's like, they're all going to be calling me out.
Yes, let us get back to the UK.
He said, and get him in the main event. My boy says, let's get me back to England and get me in the main event.
I'm not sure if he'll get that, but it is right. So I think, listen, we see holes in his game, and if you're a guy on the outside of the top 15 in the UFC, you could see him as an opportunity to steal some thunder, right?
100%.
There'll be a lot of eyeballs on a fight that Paddy has.
Well, and the one thing too is Luigi, I don't know if he's a 45er or what it is, but he just looked so small compared to, compared to Paddy. But again, because there's always this kid out there. And how many fights does Fiziev have? And that's again one of my guys that I'm talking about. Fiziev, Makachev.
He don't want that smoke.
I know, but I'm just saying there's a lot of youngsters coming up. You're just seeing this new wave of 55-pounders that are going to change everything. But Paddy the Baddy looked impressive. PSN 2020. He looked great, knocked him out in the first round. But what I liked about it more than anything, John, was just even though to have that swagger, and then he just decided, I'm just going to turn the lights out right here, right now, and just blast him. It was crazy.
The confidence to be able to do that is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, good luck to him. His stock is only going to rise, right?
And I love the confidence because you got to have it. I mean, it's a scary sport. It's a dangerous sport, but you got to have that confidence. You got to believe in what you're doing. And if anything, like what it does, it'll shut people up or it'll piss people off. One of the two. And the people but they're all going to watch. Kind of like that Colby Covington. He doesn't mind. Mad people are going to show up to watch him take a beating. And some people are going to show up to watch him win, but they're all going to show up. And that's kind of what he's doing. I love it.
And he's fun, right? He's fun to watch. Like, you're going to get drama. The fact that he nearly sat down in that fight and came back. I mean, hats off to him. Unbelievable. I mean, it was a long time coming, Paddy in the UFC. I'm glad we got to see it. But I do maintain there will be. We had Mason Jones that came over from Cage Warriors, and he fought Mike Davis in his debut. In what I think, if it wasn't so far down on the card, if it was like a co-main event, we would be celebrating that fight for the rest of the year. It was something else.
Mason, he's tough.
He is tough, but Mike Davis against Paddy Pimp, that could be something. You know, I think that Mike's probably got ambitions beyond a newcomer, but who knows? It's exciting though. Paddy, the world is at his feet now.
I'm excited. So then we got the UFC Hall of Fame induction ceremony is going to be September 23rd on UFC Fight Pass. Ain't that something? That is something. I like that. That's cool. I didn't even think about that. That actually pretty baller.
Yeah. UFC Fight Pass have got all sorts of stuff.
I'm telling you.
Even I got some stuff on UFC Fight Pass.
It is worth it. What do you got going on UFC Fight Pass?
I've got a little series, Jens. I've got a little series called Euro Watch, where before each event, I pick maybe 2 or 3 fighters or fights from the European region, and I just give a little bit of information, some background research on them to add some flavor to help you enjoy a little bit of their backstory before they make that walk. So I've been doing that for a few episodes. I'm going to touch on some of the contenders as well. Enjoying doing it. I've got some more stuff coming over on Fight Pass in different guises. It's exciting. Until we get back to live events, I'm sitting over here waiting. So
no matter how live the events get, I'm always going to be right here on Twitch TV/UFC. So I'm glad to have you here. This has been a lot of fun. Real quick, predictions for the next fighter open, chat. Predictions for the next fighter open. Yo, everybody on YouTube, come on over to Twitch TV/UFC. Our goal is to hit 200,000 followers. Remember, all subs go to the American Cancer Society over here on Twitch TV/UFC. So make sure you pop over here, give it a shot, come in and say what's up, say hello, hi. I took one moment, I posted on YouTube, said, hey, come over here. We can't be in every chat. So if you want to chat, get over here, hit that button, get in here, and let's get 200,000. How close are we? We need to have like a countdown.
250,000. You get your neighbors involved.
250,000. We need a 250,000.
Get them all on. Just tell them. Just let them know. You know, just give them a login. And
hey, everybody out there right now, you should text 10 people. Get in here. Everybody on Twitch. You know what I'm going to say to you? Text 10 people, 5 people, and say, hey, get over here. Get into Twitch TV/UFC. When I'm doing my phone, I'm texting my people saying, get over here. Get in here. So that way I can't get in trouble. I'm not trying to be unprofessional, but I'm trying to be over professional or something.
Over professional.
Trying to push it.
Like this. Right, so a little more action coming up.
We've got kind of a little bit of a lull time because of how fast. Is that what it is? Because of how fast the fight ended. But we got Modestas Bukauskas and Khalil Roundtree coming up. Both are coming off a loss.
Yeah, I got some stuff on Mo, we call him in the region. So Mo, his dad, I know his dad. I know Gintas Bukauskas is his dad. He was a coach in the city that I'm from, Watford. There were 2 gyms in there. My coach, David Lee, a former UFC fighter, and Gintas came over. Gintas was like an old NHB guy from the Soviet Union. Real mean looking guy, but a super nice dude. Anyway, they had 2 gyms going on, and obviously Modestas is his son. So I've been quite close to seeing the evolution of this, and we're obviously very proud of anyone from our city that gets to the UFC. And Modestas, again, coming through Cage Warriors. He's had some tough outs in the UFC, but he's switched up his training for this one. He's gone down to Team Titan in London, which is where Brad Pickett used to train back in the day, and a bunch of other high-level fighters on like the regional scene. I'm trying to think of who else in the UFC went through there. It's escaping me right now. But Team Titan, there were a few teams around London that were feared, and Team Titan, London Shoot Fighters, they were the 2 big teams that people you always used to have a good fight out of one of their guys for sure.
Right.
So he's been getting some good looks with some big guys down there. Typically, he used to bounce around, going for professional boxers here, like Dylan White, I think, and a few others. But he sounds good. His Instagram is like a motivational speech right now. He's really pumping himself up, trying to get his mind right.
I like it.
But
I like it.
Khalil, an interesting dude. Have you ever met Khalil?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No. Not like
He's-
sat back and hung out. No.
He's yeah, I wasn't sure what to make of him when I first met him. I think he's quite a complicated character. He's like one of the cool guys, right? He listens to all the cool music, dresses in all the clothes that I wish I could pull off.
Yeah.
He's artistic, you know. He's you know, the kind of guy that all the chicks like. But I think with that as well, he's very introspective, and I think he struggles sometimes with the martial arts, some aspects of the martial arts journey, and as evidence, I think the Iwan Kutalaba fight and some of the stuff that went on there, he spoke about that. But he's been over in Thailand, and he was coming out with that real Muay Thai style in a few of his fights. And I think he's gone back to Syndicate. And is it Syndicate that he was at? I think it's Syndicate, but definitely, yeah, it's Syndicate back in Vegas. And he hasn't taken a day off in 2 months. So I feel like he's got a much more MMA response for this fight. Yeah, man, both fighters need something big here. Both of them are capable of scoring a highlight finish as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
To ask that question, do they ignore all the hype that just rolled out there and just fought and just did that knockout? Because we all got monitors in the locker room, so everybody's watching. You know what I mean? Do they kind of feel that? And then that's kind of one of those things, right? You hear the buzz, like, oh, I'm gonna go out now. It's my turn. I'm gonna go out there and make a highlight reel. I'm gonna go out there and do that. You know what I mean? I'm curious if they can kind of feed off that, even though it's not on the same team, but it's still the same. It's still in the same venue. You know what I mean? As Brownsy's walking out.
There's only so many $50,000 bonuses to hand out, right?
That's another thing. Well, there's always that, right? There's always that.
They're like, I've got to do better than that guy if I want to take home a bit of bag.
I love that. By the way, everybody, predict with your channel points. Predict with your channel points. Make sure you get in there and vote in. That's how we get to do it. It's like channel point gambling. We got to do. Hope everybody's doing well out there watching these fights. If there's anything that we can do for you, well, you just let me know. Everybody out there on YouTube, remember, I want you to come over here to twitch.tv/UFC. It's not hard. Watch them both. But come over here and hit that follow. twitch.tv/UFC. We want to get to that 200,000. Little Evil, what is your Twitch? I'm twitch.tv/Jens Pulver. Real simple. Nothing flashy. I didn't even get to be Little Evil, but just twitch.tv/Jens Pulver. That's about it.
Loving this. Loving the build up to this one. And no, I saw someone in the chat asking if they're ranked. These guys are not ranked. I mean, that's a super tough division, the 205-pound light heavyweights of the UFC. I call that like the marquee division. You've had some serious names go through the light heavyweights. But Khalil, we saw him he got introduced to us through The Ultimate Fighter. He's just such an imposing character. Really interesting backstory as well. I'd go back and like read about him. I think he was like quite overweight back in the day. I think he was like involved in the music biz. He was a roadie. But there's a lot to his character. He's got his own actual fictional character called Super Champ that he designed. And
are you serious?
Yeah, man. I had some really crazy like conversations with him. I can't remember where we were, but yeah, he's a very fascinating conversation. But Modestus, from my hometown, very near where I'm from. In actual fact, the town that I live at, he was a personal trainer like 2 minutes from this very room that I'm sitting in. Yeah. So one of my old coach, Denison Sutherland, used to be in his corner. But as I say, it's the bald head guy there, well, the smaller one, Mickey Papas, that's Team Titan. Gintas, the taller guy, that's his dad.
I love it.
As we said earlier. Yeah.
I love it. Look at this. Oh, dude, you get me fired up. I like this. I can't figure out, like, it's just watching the fights and stuff like that. I mean, both of them are coming off a loss. So how does that play into this?
Back-to-back losses. Both of them
now
are
that
two
definitely,
skids.
like, you don't want that third one, right? And it's again, as having that losing streak at the end of my career, it's where you literally start going, okay, what's broken? Why?
Yeah.
What is happening? Why is this happening? Finished 10 of 11 wins, 8 knockouts, 6 first-round finishes. And again, former Cage Warriors light heavyweight champion. This was just all kinds of Cage Warriors. And by the
Yeah.
way, everybody, I believe we do have another Cage Warriors in September on UFC Fight Pass. I believe yours truly may be commentating such things.
There you go. There you go.
But I'm just saying, so you can see them on Fight Pass, which is why you want to get that membership to Fight Pass, because there's a lot of fights going on, a lot of live events that we're doing, a lot of things coming up. You're going to see some videos here in a little bit, but another one with 6 wins by knockout, second highest knockdown rate among active UFC light heavyweights, right here with Khalil Roundtree. So first minute could tell everything.
Roundtree back from Thailand, where he's been for the last few camps, back in Las Vegas, his home, but he hasn't spent time with family and friends. He's been knuckling down in the gym. His coach, John Wood, super proud of his application to his art. And we'll see. We'll see. Lots of changes for Modestas as well, going to Team Titan, as I mentioned. If you're from the UK, you will recognize that gym's name. I want to see how both of these guys shape up. I quite literally could be a different stance from Khalil, from outside of that very upright Muay Thai. Let's see how he shapes up.
I'm pumped. He's right now, he's a plus 145 underdog.
Really? I'm so surprised by that. I'm so surprised by that. Like it's nearly 6 years that Roundtree's been in the UFC. That's a lot of high level experience. Cage Warriors is a wonderful promotion to earn your stripes on, but you're not getting those kind of looks.
170 favorite. So it's all close, but it's definitely.
Yeah.
And then if you look at just with the reach, 78-inch reach for Bukauskas and 76.5 for Roundtree. Well, I don't know. We'll have to. Oh, this is going to be all right. Here we go. Here we go.
All right. Let's see if Mo can keep the run going for those from the UK. I think they've won all of their fights so far, haven't they?
I believe. Here we go,
It's
right off to the monster.
Rest of the world.
See, now we've got righty versus lefty. Who's going to let that out? Who's going to keep that? I like how, again, Bukauskas kind of circling that foot out the outside there. It opens up the right hand. Good left by Roundtree.
Nice work by Roundtree, yeah. Khalil caught Bukauskas napping. He's hitting him hard.
I love how he just parried that leg. He parried that teep kick, and with the same motion of parrying, fired a lead hook left hand. Big left hands by Roundtree.
They are just
another one.
Throwing. Modestas looks hurt.
I
he's
like
trying
that
to find his feet.
But he's doing a decent job. Roundtree is not falling into it yet, as much as not trying to push it too hard, but he's trying to land powerful shots, and back to the center they go.
Roundtree's making this cage
tiny.
Look like it's tiny right now.
He's making it damn near look like a phone booth, and he's right on him, but he's not over. Look at that lead hook, Lord. Left hand again.
He is not messing around. He is not getting paid for overtime tonight.
Oh, another left lands, but I like how he's explosive, but he's still patient. He's not overdoing it just yet, right? He doesn't know how hurt Bukauskas is, but he's doing enough to damage him.
But look at the stance. Look how different it was from that Muay Thai, that light.
Yeah, now he's
bounce.
Down. See, now he's down, stalking.
Sitting on those punches.
He's sitting on heavy on the foot. I like how he's also keeping that foot on the outside, opens up that straight left. See right there again, stepping just outside that lead foot. That's key to land that straight left. Look, and he's cutting him off. I love it, man. He's just stalking him. Oof. Big lead hook right there, left hand.
Modestas is being able to take these shots well. I mean, I don't know if Roundtree can keep this kind of power up, but a bloodied nose by Bukauskas.
He looks like he's starting to get it back a little bit. He landed in a 1-2 and then was able to lean back out of Roundtree's punches and get it back. But definitely with that bloody nose, now you got to have that taste going on from the word go. That's got to be horrifying. Yeah. But that lead hook of Roundtree, that's the biggest
horrifying
factor.
Too.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
2 body shots as Modestas was backing up.
Modestas is dropping his right hand every time he throws his left as well. And Khalil's huge looping shots are they're finding a home.
And it's
I
crazy.
worry about that.
That straight left is landing. Those big looping hooks are landing. And that, yeah, I mean, that's where Modestus, he's going to get in trouble keeping that right hand tends to drop. See, and it's afterwards. It's right after. If you notice, Roundtree is waiting. And as soon as the 2 punches are thrown, he's coming back and making sure, which capitalizes, you got to get those hands back just as fast as you threw them out there. And that's kind of what Roundtree's able to do to Modestus right now is catch him. He's throwing the shot, bringing it down there by his chest and getting hit in the face in the process.
Does again? I can't see the stream super good. Is Bukowski's nose? Does that look broken?
I was going to say I'm not 100% sure if it's broken, but it's definitely bleeding. Definitely bleeding. You know, but that's one of those things. Again, I like how now just kind of that feeling out process, staying out in the center. Both fighters slapping that lead hand against each other. Look at good straight right by Modestus there.
This God, just the power of Roundtree. It's terrifying.
Yeah, the way that he throws it and times up. Now, see, Modestus, he's kind of bobbing, looking, adding that feint in there a little bit, but someone's got to demonstrate where's this big straight jab. See, I like that jab.
Oh,
but you see how he's putting too much into it and the 2 counter punches that Roundtree's landing? He's got to snap it out and snap it back. You don't want to be getting hit when you're throwing a jab. Get hit when you're throwing your kitchen sink, your right hand, but not when you're throwing that jab.
Yeah. What do you think the Modestus should do here? Maybe feint a bit more off of that left and then come through with a big power?
Yeah, I like that. The feint, and then keep that hand out there halfway, but make sure you get it back at the right levels because knowing that counter is going to come back, play this jab game, slap over the top, land your lead hook, step outside. He's got to make sure he's circling to his left and keep that foot on the outside, fire that straight right, and then come back with the left hook of your own.
Because Roundtree's countering very well. He can lead. It looks like he can lead the dance as well.
Yeah.
But his counter game looks very strong tonight.
And now he's added in some lead leg kicks on Modestus. And that's the one thing is he's slowing down. See how they're constantly sitting there hitting each other's lead hand. And that's what you want to do but now fire that straight right and then fire that lead hand.
And can you tell us about the foot game when you're with these stances as well? What
if you notice, you'll see like they'll always step on each other's foot because the reality is you want to make sure you're stepping on the outside. There it is, another big left by Roundtree. You want to make sure your foot's on the outside. And that opens up your hips, opens up the gate where you can fire that straight left. And it's a really good opener, right? Keeping that foot on the outside unless you're cutting an angle. But for the most part, that's what happens. If we both keep stepping outward, we should just be moving to the fence at that point.
Yeah, Modestus's nose did not look like that when he entered the octagon.
Those hooks.
He is smelling round corners, as my friend Dan Hardy would say.
Oh, he said, oh man, he's smelling round corners.
It's great that. I can't take that's Hardy.
He needs to get hit with a right hook now, I believe. Might line that thing back up.
Who needs to be Dr. Roundtree? Who needs to set it straight?
Look at that. Yeah, you see the way it's rolling off to his left. He's got to catch a right. It's crazy how it's bruised right alongside it as well.
Yeah. That is nasty.
God, that thing is, man, we got to get some sticks up in there. I can't believe, would nobody try to pop the adjustment right there? Like get a little hand in there, you know? I don't know. Have we ever has anyone ever done a nose adjustment right in between the rounds?
God, as if fighting's not bad enough.
Right? I'm telling you.
Oh.
I'm telling you. But he's still out there and he's still going. So props to him.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Round 2. I like again how they just look at. See how you notice how Roundtree, every time he steps his right foot outside and fires that left down the pipe.
Yeah.
It opens everything up.
Yeah, you got to win that foot battle. But I would, apparently the corner were asking for Bukowskis to shoot the takedown, like fake the levels.
Start changing levels, right? Changing levels rather than fainting in and out. Start changing that up and down. But if you don't shoot a takedown, chat, how are you going to make them even fear a take, right? So you got to shoot, maybe grab a single. But that's another thing. You got to close the distance to be able to do that.
Oh, big left again from Roundtree. He looks in great shape for this. He
looks like he's really trying to land that left hand and blast him. And that's one thing is he just looks a little faster. See, again, once Roundtree gets hit, he comes in with kind of like a little bull charge and boom, he just starts bombing and landing those 2 punches. I think Bukowskis, though, he looks like he's got his wits about him a little better now. And so he's starting to stick that hand, get in and out a little, you know.
He's Modestus has not entered the inner octagon. Roundtree has pinned him in that outer octagon the whole fight.
He's on the outer track 100%, right?
And he's just moving him round. And what do you think about Modestus moving into the power hands of Roundtree as well? A lot of the time, he's moving on to that left.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, see, good jab right there. When he steps inside like that, that's the one thing is you are circling into their power. And I'm not sure what is he losing the game or what is he trying to set something up? If you are going to step that way, you know what's going to happen. And that left is coming. Now you can see that Roundtree though. See, I love that big looping hook that he throws over the top of.
He's trying that Muay Thai thing here.
See that?
He's trying that Muay Thai thing.
I like how he's just teeping that leg, just teep like checks.
Yeah.
Giving him something to look at.
Yeah, he really embraced the Thai culture. And so, he was going for that John Jones chassé kick, the oblique kick that they call as well. But he went with fierce. Oh, he's done it. He's done it again. He did it again. He's literally stamped his leg out. Roundtree has done what John Jones has been trying to do his whole career.
It just happened. There's no kneecap there yet. Is there? There's a kneecap. As if calf kicks weren't enough, chat. As if calf kicks weren't enough. Now we're kicking kneecaps. We're kicking kneecaps off. Like we just lost a kneecap. I'm done.
I'm
so happy I'm retired. I made through my 20 years of this business. I'm happy. So happy that I'm retired. Look at this. And boom. Right
oh my goodness.
Don't watch it.
Oh, watch it. Jesus.
As if it just, and look, and he told him. John, he told him that he was basically going to do it. He started realizing that jab. And boom,
look at this.
He stepped right on the side of his knee, chat, and just stepped it down to the ground. And the LCL is gone. That there might be an ACL situation. There could be a PCL.
Oh, good Lord.
That was unreal.
Oh, that's a bad
Deadly.
one.
Look at everybody's got to look away.
That is a bad one.
Everybody's got to look away.
Yeah. You see, so in Sabat, they call it a chassé kick, oblique kick, whatever, but it's a controversial technique, right? I'm okay with it.
Because he literally stepped on the side of his knee, just stomped right on the side of the knee in the way that he buckled. But that's the game, right? That's the game. That's part of what you got. Calf kicks, you've got these knee stomps. I mean, it's just part of the game.
In jiu-jitsu right now, I don't know if we're actually coming away from it, but in recent times in jiu-jitsu, the whole leg lock thing has been on vogue. Everyone's been going for leg locks. You go to any grappling competition now, purple belt and above, everyone's just trying to tear each other's knees up with heel hooks. It's the same.
Look how fast they casted him. Look how fast they casted him. And somebody had asked, Jens, what do you think of the new leg kick culture in the UFC? Bad, Danny. Like I said, I'm very happy that I'm retired. I'm glad I made it through 20 years of this, because look, he's getting stretched out. Man, but again,
he's going straight to the locker room.
I would be curious. His ligaments, what Prof COD is saying is his ligaments. I can't imagine. It looked like it tore half that knee. Like everything's probably got to be wrecked. The way he folded and fell over, it's got to be.
Everything's just been.
Yeah, it's got to be wrecked.
There's is it Dr. Kickass? There's a guy on Instagram. There's an account. I think it is. Anyway, he does a really good job he's a medical professional.
Yeah, and there's someone on YouTube that breaks down all of the kicks and the ligaments.
So they tell us what's mechanically what would have just happened.
Yeah.
How you rehabilitate. I find that stuff kind of fascinating.
It's pretty cool that there's a few doctors that they break that down for you. And it's one of those things where, like when Sugar Shot, when he had that with the calf kick and his foot went wonky, and you had that one doctor that breaks it down. Chat probably knows better, but there's one doc, he does a really good job of breaking things down.
Yes. That was violent. That's a violent way to end a fight.
What's funny is the way that he kept bringing, like he was bouncing on that lead leg, like you would in that Thai stance, kind of bounce, like this is about to happen. Wow.
Yeah.
My mindset today was just win, lead hook, right, left hand. I'm telling you. dealing with his fear head on, but he looked violent doing it. It looked impressive. Now you got to worry about people stepping. But again, like you said, that's something that Bones Jones been doing a long time.
Yeah.
Well, now chat, understand that when done correct, like super correctly, Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree just did that. See what he just said. Look, he must be into the PCL. It could be completely wrecked. The whole knee could be done. But an LCL, a PCL, there's got to be some things. Look at that. Right on the thigh, and then he just kept driving. Watch, he steps on the thigh, and then. He did study it. He doesn't do it to his training partners, chat, which is good on him.
So it's interesting that Bisping was saying it's not the finish that you were looking for. Well, that looked pretty intentional. That looked like he wanted to do that. So
yeah, I mean, maybe he wasn't. Well, and I get it. Maybe he wasn't trying to completely ruin somebody's knee. Maybe that's what he meant by not the finish. But at the same token, yeah, no.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with Spooky
work.
SPK. Be like, Bisping is low-key telling Khalil that was kind of messed up, but not really, because it's not banned, horribly effective, and now it just made it extra scary. Extra scary. But look at that. He keeps stepping on it right there. I mean, look, he got out of it. He's telling him he's doing it.
It's the next technique he uses after missing.
And then right here, look, boom. He timed it. He timed it. Now, what that does is this. What that does, that makes it very scary. You got to be careful stepping straight in. Boxers need to be nervous. Boxers that are heavy on that lead foot, that's the kind of thing that you got to be careful. We were worried about remember, in the beginning, it was an inside leg kick, just above the knee. Then it became the calf kick. And now it's this little teep kick, just boom, right on the side of the knee. I don't know if they'll, it's like Extra Grand saying, Extra Gram Sam is saying, how is that allowed? Because it's new. So I don't know. Like maybe do you think, John, at some point they might start making adjustments? I don't know. We just need to, you just got to learn. You just can't be heavy on that lead leg. You got to be weary at all times. Now you're going to be at that tie stance, not to cut you off, where they are bouncing that lead leg, standing up and down. That's why you notice that foot is never stuck and grounded. That lead leg in a tie stance ever, because those are the things that are going to happen to you. The
thing is, if this was two lefties, I'm not sure that technique's there, right? Because that leg's not exposed. If Modestus 100%. Was in a southpaw
100%.
Stance, so we might not be seeing that all the time, because you need opposite stances for it to really work. You can take the rear leg and stomp, but again, Jones does it, but not to that effect. And listen, we saw Paul Craig with against Jamal Hill. He snapped the guy's arm, right? Like, but we're okay with that, but we're not okay with this. Yeah, but we have to. I feel like there's a bit of a double standard.
100%.
If you do that to your training partner, then we've got a problem in the practice room. You can't be doing that. And Khalil was talking about that. You can tap it, you can get your range from it, but I have to say I'm not someone who I don't like soccer kicks to grounded opponents. The 1FC rules, I don't particularly like that. If we want to see mixed martial arts grow worldwide, I understand the reasons why we have the unified rules as they are. I have to say that. I mean, I know that you're an old school guy, Jens. It's not a good look. But this is rare. I think it's a legitimate technique.
It's legitimate. And that's the thing about it, though, John. It's a technique. And our techniques are there to do one thing: finish this fight as fast as possible. And that's what people need to understand. This isn't tiddlywinks. We're not playing hopscotch. We're out there. We're trying to hurt each other. But in every way, in everything that we throw, everything that we do. And it's like we were talking about in the clinches and stuff like that, going in there, throwing elbows and stuff like that. But by the way, hey, chat, just a heads up, I want to take a second and point out what we have, that we have a new episode of UFC Fight Lore coming this week. The focus of the episode, Lee Murray. So make sure you check that and all the other badass fight content out there on UFC Fight Pass. And hopefully we start talking about free Lee Murray. I mean, it's time.
Lightning Lee Murray.
Lightning Lee Murray. It's time. Free Lee Murray. All right, I'm going to be quiet.
Go and have a look at Lee Murray versus Pele and their stare down. It's one of the most terrifying things you'll see. And also Anderson Silva as well, when they fought in London. There's some stuff that goes, Lee Murray is a bad man.
He was something, like I said, he was very polite every time he came over to hang out with us, you know what I mean, at the Militich camp. And then one year he just came back, and my man had been working on his hands, and they were slick. They were greasy. So let him check this out.
Yeah.
Lee Murray, he legitimately had a chance of being champion. You wonder what could have been without the problems that his life brought with him.
Detectives investigating the multi-million-pound robbery from the Securitas depot.
It was the biggest cash heist ever conducted in Britain. 30 million still remains unrecovered.
I said, mate, change your lifestyle, because you'll end up doing life in prison, or you're going to die on the slab.
In, and they're trying to handle at no matter what, you know what I'm saying? There's just a fine line between it.
Oh, here we go. They're showing some Lee Murray
Okay,
stuff.
here's a commercial for Fight Lore. So yeah, we'll just be muted, right?
Yeah,
I'm muted.
This is oh, we're muted right now.
I don't know. I'm just gonna assume. Oh, we're not muted. Oh no, so we're still talking. All right, good.
We're still talking. Okay. Well, I mean, Lee Murray.
We're just hushing.
He got convicted for some bad stuff. But just there is definitely this aura about Lee Murray. He was an intimidating guy. The man got stabbed, like, in a really bad way. And 6 weeks later, was it stabbed in the heart? Something crazy. 6 weeks later, yeah, back in the gym hitting mitts with his coaches. Mitts. 6 weeks later, like, you know, it's ridiculous.
But he's always been, like I said, us, nothing but being kind and nothing. I mean, I love the kid. It's just, it was wild to hear about it, you know, back when it happened. It's just, wild
stuff, man.
Yeah.
Wild stuff. Yeah. Didn't he got into it with Tito Ortiz, right?
That was that whole, at that bar, the after fight party. It was free alcohol. Oh no, it happened. Militich was standing right there. They were all were there. They were standing right. Yeah, no, it all. And that's the thing. And Tony Strickland, he actually got booted from the UFC because of that. So it was just a bad thing altogether. The whole thing that happened. I wasn't there personally, but I just heard. I mean, it was just a lot of chaos. But that's what happens when. I mean, it was kind of like a free bar tab. Open bar tab, all the fighters just getting down. Just weird things will happen, I suppose.
Oh yeah. Oh, it doesn't need to be fighters for weird things to happen, but yeah, you put that kind of testosterone in a room. Yeah, madness. So who we got up next?
We've got a little bit of a downtime. Well, Alex Morono and David Zawada will be coming up here in a minute. So I like that Morono. He cracks me up. It was his fights, both of them. It was a lot of fun again watching. I just love breaking these fights down on Friday and getting to watch all these fights like what we do on, obviously here at Twitch TV/UFC. We're watching 2 fights of each person. So it's, I love it. I love watching. Now it's like, I get excited to watch them fights. We kind of have a down moment for a second. We see chat. What's going on with you, Jens? Talk about Alex Morono defeating Cowboy. It was something, wasn't it? What do you think about that, John? It was, and he took it on short notice. And talk about he just kind of like, you would almost think that he would be in awe, like, oh my, I'm fighting Cowboy. Or it's like, ooh, I'm fighting Cowboy. Here we go. And he just kind of threw down and ran over the top of him. He didn't get caught up in it.
No, it's interesting that the personalities and characters that we have in mixed martial arts. You've got a guy like Mike Perry, who's so raw, right? Yeah. So raw, fighter. We all know about Mike Perry. I don't need to layer that. But Alex Morono is a guy he's teaching martial arts to other people, runs his own schedule, although I know he's spent a lot of time with Saif Saud and he really has taken him on as his mentor. But he's very businesslike about things. Even the fact that he's jumped into this against David Zavada. He's gone from fighting Cowboy Cerrone, one of the biggest names in the sport of all times, and taking him out in the first round in beautiful fashion, to then jumping back in to fight David Zavada. No disrespect to David Zavada, who I think is underrated, by the way. I think he's a very highly skilled mixed martial artist out of Germany. Great team over there. They've got some seriously high-level guys. Is it UFD team? Let me have a quick look. Yeah, UFD. Just that mentality, James.
He enjoys it. He enjoys what he's doing, and he was back teaching the day after the fight, and he's just
about
MMA.
that life.
Yeah, he's just
about
MMA
that
altogether.
life.
He's like a Joe Lazone, it really is.
Yes.
And that's what I love about him. He is just like you said, he's just about that life. He'll fight anything. And this is again what I love, that the opportunity is there because there are so many fights now. Almost every weekend you can be as busy as you want. And that's again, they always talk about what's the one thing you wish you could change as an older fighter to this day would be the amount of fights that you have. That would be incredible. It'd be so much fun to be able to have that many fights and stuff like that. But he's a great kid. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he was teammates with Ricky Tercios, who won the Ultimate Fighter. That he was in town for that. Hence, why we're seeing him getting it or jumping on this opportunity, because he's obviously been working hard for his teammates. So he just comes across as a really good guy. We were talking a little bit earlier about working in your community, in the mixed martial arts community. He's clearly got those elements about him, and it's showing the tightness he is to Team Fortis and his guys as well. So the guys at Gracie Baja, the Woodlands, I think his wife's involved in the sport as well, runs the gym maybe. So, good luck to him. I think he even said something like he's not going for the title. It's
not really about the title. He's just doing the journey. He's just in for the journey and where the journey takes him. Again, which would be why he wants to fight everybody. It's not necessarily title oriented. It's just, I'm just here to fight. I'm fighting, and that's what I'm after.
It's his job, right? It's how he puts food on the table.
And it's a daily, it's a lifestyle, and it's embracing that lifestyle. And again, being as busy as you want or don't want to be. I love it.
But I speak to hundreds of fighters, obviously. I'm in such a privileged position to do so with access to all of these wonderful athletes. But I don't often hear that out of people, gents. I hear everyone go, when I say, what's your ambition? And of course, it's the title. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the title.
Of course, right? Everybody's after the belt.
So then you speak to someone like Alex, who's a kind of cerebral guy. And it's not about the title. It's about these other things and being a leading light for other people. It's very interesting.
100%.
But David Zavada, he's from a fighting family. His brother is like a bit of a legend in Germany. He's got like 150 fights. He's probably late 30s, 40s, still going strong. It's really interesting.
Is he a bearded version of Hooker? He looks a lot like him. He really does
look like him. Yeah.
He's like a bearded version. I'm like, dude, he looks just like him. Now here comes Alex Morono walking out, looking a little fired up.
Yeah, he does. The Great White. Alex, the Great White. He's ready to go. And this is weird. So David Zavada, just turning it back to him, because we're giving some love to Alex Morono. We can do this. He's got a really close relationship with Gleison Tebow. Like, how does a guy from Germany, apparently Gleison Tebow went down to Germany, went to this gym, UFD. As I say, they're a big gym, so they probably got some money to invite these kind of big names down. Yeah. And they struck up this really strong bond. And Zavada was over at the PFL. I think that's where Gleison Tebow is now. Yeah. So he's been over in Florida and cornering Gleison Tebow, this kid from Germany. Yeah, it's really crazy, man.
I love it.
The sport it's such a big world, right? But this sport brings people together from all corners. There's kind of an interesting fact.
I love that's crazy. I had no idea. That's savage. 11 first-round finishes for Morono, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo black belt, 7th highest striking rate amongst active UFC welterweights.
That's mad. Yeah, listen, Zavada's fought some.
In this one, he's 15 of 17, 11 knockouts, 4 submissions, 10 first-round finishes, last 2 wins by submission.
Can I just look at his resume, though? Yeah, so when he joined the UFC, he fought Danny Roberts from the UK. Danny's an excellent boxer. He took it on, Zavada took it on late notice. It's a very tough, close fight. Then he goes and fights Li Jingliang in China without his corner team. Li Jingliang's a lot of fun, heavy hands, really good fighter. Goes on to then fight Abubakar Nurmagomedov. He's fighting Nurmagomedov in Russia, I might add, and wins. Yep. And then he goes and fights Ramazan Emeev, who in Russia is one of the most respected welterweights. He's a really good dude, but he's very high level. He's had a real tough
He doesn't have an easy schedule at all.
Oh my good Lord, no.
And all of us over here, we don't really know those fighters as well as other people do too. But he's had tough opponents. But to go in there to fight Morono,
it's another one.
Oh, he doesn't have an easy. I don't think there is an easy road at 170. You know, it's just they're all too dang tough.
I can't remember who I'm going to put it in actually. I can't remember who he was fighting before, but I remember looking at it going, this is a bigger fight for him. Let me see who he was scheduled to fight beforehand. Oh, Sergey Kandushko, who is again another guy from Russia, but he's not of the profile of Alex Morono. Sergey Kandushko was not fighting Cowboy Cerrone in his last outing. So mate, this might be there's a bigger opportunity for Zavada, but I'd feel like you need some time to prepare for a guy like Morono.
100%. Here we go. Two righties.
Yeah.
Two righties circling around right on.
Nice high guard there from Morono. He's real high hands.
Yeah, I like that. But I like this a little bit of this, again, the aggression by Zawada. And I like how, again, coming in with that lead hook, right hand, and then firing that right hand over the top. That lead hook sweeping. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is that Morono's looking for at this moment, but Zawada, I like that. Coming in with that sweeping lead hook and then finishing with that right hand.
He's good, man. I really rate Zavada. As I say, I think he's just had a really tough run, but this could be an upset tonight. I rate Morono, but Zavada's a tough guy to step in on.
And the way that he's walking him down. Thank you. The way that he's walking him down, that went Zavada. And it's almost like now Morono's trying to come forward. Now it's going to be his turn and see if Zavada will counter punch. But that was the one thing that I think Morono was trying to do for a moment. But now you can tell it's like for some reason what's got him on the retreat and Morono coming forward. There you go. Good right hand. Good 3-punch combination with the looping right hand for Morono to finish those combinations, which again is crazy. I'm curious what he's looking for. Morono, that is.
I think Morono's been...
There it is, that right hand, and Zavada just kind of took it to the side of the head. And now closing the distance over under position for both of them. And he got clocked upside the ear hole.
Yeah.
But see that again, you notice how even though Zavada has he's got the overhook and Morono's got the underhook, but the head position by Zavada is what's able to neutralize that. Good elbow over the top, good hook by Morono.
Who was it earlier? You really like the work on the break from the clinch. There's a nice moment in there, isn't there?
There's that stale moment when you're backing straight out, and that's where you got to counter and catch them as they're coming out. Because again, it's the same thing as on the return of those punches. You could be this at throws, but the hand starts down here and then it comes up, boom, and it's down here. So as soon as that thing touches, bam, snap it out there and capitalize that they're not bringing their hand straight back. And that's kind of what you need to do as well when they're breaking. How many people break with their hands up and you don't fire that hook just blindly, just as soon as you feel the release of pressure, fire, boom, boom, and chase after him a little bit. Big, long right hand by Morono right there as he stalks down Zawada, and Zawada tries to counter. Now they're back to the center again. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. What do you think? What do you think Morono's looking for in here right now? Oh, good 2 lead hooks by Zawada.
I think he's feeding him out, isn't he? He's got so much savvy. He's a commentator himself. I think he's just trying to download that information at the moment to try and work out Zavada. And Zavada was coming out pretty hot earlier, but he's certainly respecting Morono now after taking a couple of heavy shots.
Yep, then he's out of the way. Zavada tries to spin one off, and Morono just moves off to the left, out of the way. And that's the one thing. I again, like I said, the more I watch Morono, it's like he's the new version of Joe Lazone. Studying, aggressive, great. I mean, good, well-rounded fighter, landing that lead hook. And it's the more you watch him, you can see he's out there trying to solve the puzzle. Like you said, it's a lot of fun. And that's the one thing, chat, you may not see it, but again, he's just out there, just kind of just pacing it, studying. And Zavada is coming forward, but he's not really able to do much.
Zavada's coming in with single shots. and Morono's finding not even threes, but sometimes 4 or 5 punch combinations, and not just pad work programming either. He's looking for the shots. He's in that moment looking for the right kind of shots.
I love how you said that, pad work programming, and that's that straight out, straight back, pop, 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 pop. And then you get that, there it is, that freedom of resting. And that's where you capitalize on somebody. You get inside, you throw your combination, then they think they can, I call it heavy bag training. Now they get to step back, take a deep breath, start over. But that's as soon as you throw those punches, block, capitalize on them taking that moment to, like you said, pad work training where they can, and then they start and they do the, they do the combination.
Yeah.
They're kind of twinning right now. They're both of them hooking each other's head, throwing the uppercuts.
A little Don Fry action
right
in there
hand
for a second.
Oi.
Yeah, two tough cats in there right now. Oh, nice right hand from Zavada. Oh, and again on the end of the left. Yeah. As Morono's going for the kicks, it's not working. He's getting tagged.
I like it. Good first round. Good first round.
Nice.
32 significant strikes of 33 total strikes from Morono, and we've got 23 of 23. So Zavada's only throwing heavy shots. Rum Toxic, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, this is fun. So now again, I don't necessarily know the difference that what he's got to do differently, or what he's got to do. But what do you think, chat? Y'all enjoying the fight so far? Everybody doing good? Do we have who wins this fight? Remember to use your channel points and start predicting out there in the YouTube world. Get over here to twitch.tv/UFC. Hit that follow button. We're going after that 200, a quarter of a milli. We want a quarter of a milli followers.
We want a quarter of a milli.
Quarter of a milli. So hopefully everybody's enjoying this. And good fights. Good fights.
How am I doing, gents? I'm new to the Twitch audience.
Oh, you're doing great.
You think I'm doing okay?
Oh, it's a blast. I'm having, like, you guys are doing a phenomenal job. Look, the mods are like, this has been a lot of fun. This is great rapping with you. I love this.
This is cool.
International Fight Week. Volkanovski, Ortega, Shevchenko, Murphy, Diaz versus Lawler. And you get to see the Hall of Fame on UFC Fight Pass inductees. Here we go. Zavada landed a good combination. Back Morono up. See, I like it. Look at Morono tried to pick it up and throw those jabs, but it's almost like what Zawada was waiting for, because his counter punching was able to back him up and hurt him a little bit and stagger him.
Oof. These guys are throwing. There's two educated strikers as well. This isn't like someone who's just picked up the striking. These guys know what they're throwing.
And I like that. And again, trying to tee it up the way he's able to block that kick. And Zavada even trying to change his stance up a little bit. And it's almost as if they're waiting to see who's going to be first. You throw your jab. No, you throw your jab.
Nice bounce to Zavada's work. He's got a real kind of just an orthodox boxing look, hasn't he?
Yeah.
The way that he just,
I like it.
It's nice and clean. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be more effective than someone who's coming over the top and it looks a little bit more untidy, but it's nice on the eye.
Yeah, and I like how he keeps that right hand constantly cocked to the chin, even when he's throwing that jab. It's like a double jab right hand by Morono. But again, Zavada's trying to get in there. And it's the counter punch. It's always what happens right after. You know what I mean? Right after the punches. And that's it. Those two punches and then the counter punching by both of them. Oi. Straight right by Zavada, and Morono catches him with the right hook in the process. I love it.
So much experience for Morono, high level experience.
Patience and, that's it, right? The patience of it all. And you can tell just their coaching. You can tell that they're training just really sharp. Look at the way he just flicks that jab out there, Morono. And then Zavada trying to do the same thing.
How many, I know it's athlete dependent, gents, but how many fights do you think it really takes for a fighter to get comfortable in the octagon on like the world's toughest?
Oh, that right hand. He just tagged him in the forehead. I'd say 2 or 3 to really kind of get your groove. You know what I mean? But then it just depends on the size of the crowd. And again, it depends on the opponent and just everything like that. As you're growing, it just gets bigger and bigger, but that lead hook right there, Morono. I don't know if he's trying to stay in it, but Morono's walking him down a little bit now.
Halfway point of the fight right now. And Morono looks like he's
See,
sized
went
it.
low with that left
That
jab
right
and then
hand
fired
was
the right
lovely.
hand over the top. Nice to the
Really
face.
nice. Really nice. Little blitz there from Zavada. Wasn't much to do with that.
There you go. 2 good punches. What's that? Jens, I didn't catch the contender last week. How did AJ Fletcher do?
Oof.
It was right. Look, you just seen Gooden just
Oof.
pop up. Oof. Oof was, yeah. It's the spectacular jumping, flying triple Lindy knee that he landed. And yeah, it was quite impressive.
It's out of a video game. That was out of a video game.
Yep. So right now, we just got Morono and Zawada. Literally, the technical side of this fight that's happened. They're standing on the monster, and they're literally just popping that jab back and forth. The feeling out process, and they're both just patiently waiting. And then Zawada will lunge in, boom, boom, 1, 2, and then try to throw, and then Morono will move out of the way. They're literally just kind of chess matching back and forth a little bit. I don't know who's like adding in a leg kick. Someone might need to add in a takedown. Somebody being able to add in something different. They're kind of stuck right now in that rut, right, John? Back and forth and just kind of just watching what each other's doing.
Yeah, DC's saying about Zavada trying to take down, but then you're going to tangle with I think it's a black belt game, right?
Yeah.
With Morono. And he uses it like he's got 6 submission wins professionally. Zavada's not, I don't think he's a big submission guy. I know, I think he's got 4 of his own. 2 of them are guillotines, which suggests to me that someone shot in on him early in his career and he's equalized with the guillotine. So I don't know whether going to the ground was necessarily kind of plan A. But if he's not getting, he needs to start thinking about changing things up.
Got to get some kind of rhythm, change up the rhythm. And Rum Toxic, I just caught a glance at that sub. By the way, much love and appreciation. TY, all subs go to the American Cancer Society. So much love and appreciation. Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, I said that. All subs go to the American Cancer Society.
Oh,
good back and forth. Good right hand by Morono to finish that combination by Zavada. Again, is that one of the things they're so evenly matched? That they're looking at boom, they're both just looping punches and landing at the end. It's perfect.
I love it. Yeah, we've had some great fights tonight. We really have. Some tight ones. He's so seasoned, Morono, right? I think that's a good word to use, right?
I like
very
that.
Seasoned.
Yep. Intelligence, the way he looks at fighting, the way he talks about it, the way he goes after it, attacks it, approaches it. All of it. He's just trying to solve that puzzle. He's legitimately trying to figure out the puzzle. Looking at chat over here, making sure. All right, messing with you. I'll be messing with you, chat, all day. I'm listening to what the corner's saying a little bit, but I mean, they're just saying you just got to push it. But if you look at both of them, which is ironic, significant strikes and total strikes, Zavada's 49 and 49. So he's only throwing significant strikes. And then you've got, again, with Morono, it's 1. No takedown. I'm curious as we go into this round, if there's going to be even just a skosh, a tickling of a takedown. You know what I mean? And we're going into round 3, right?
How are we tickling? Like, what kind of tickle we're looking at here, gents?
I just hook it. I hook it and I got a hold of it. Here we go. Last round, right out to the Monster Center.
Yeah, we're looking at Morono. Looks like he's running away. Is that? Oh, I don't know if Zavada got caught with something there.
I don't know, but now Morono's bringing big shots as Zavada's moving forward. Are you guys doing a post-fight recap? I believe the stream will be watching the post, but we won't be doing it, if that makes sense.
I've got to get through some of these snacks after, gents. That's what I'll be doing. I just realized if I start indulging in the popcorn and the chips over here, it's going to mess with the microphone, right? Everyone's going to hear me masticating. That's a nice word, isn't it?
I like it.
You've got to be careful how you say it, however.
Especially if you get crunching and
So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave.
If you got a good mic, it could be an issue. But right here, we've got Morono out on that front headlock. He looks like he found something that he likes. He takes the back of Zawada, throws in a single leg ride. Gonna still try to keep his back. Zavada's gonna go push up against the fence, gets the leg off. So he's not letting Morono get a leg in, but he's got him pushed up against the ESPN Plus corner pad. And now I like
working on the hands. Yeah, working on that grip. that 2-on-1. But again, Morono's just so savvy, isn't he? Just peppering with a couple of shots and then getting back to that body lock.
Yeah, he's staying active and he's just trying to make him work, score the points. And now, again, this is Zavada. Zavada's got to move. He's got to sit there and try to. Now he pummels inside again. Good job with the head position to counter Morono's underhook, but then fires an elbow. And you can just tell it's like Morono's just kind of picking it up and patiently beating Zavada. I don't know how else to describe it. He's patiently just beating him. He's just winning all the positions and just hitting him with counter shots when Zavada comes in. And then there's that second right hand that since Morono throwing 2 or 3 punches when they do get in close, chat.
Yeah, it looks like Morono sees everything coming right now. And he's got an answer for it.
Yeah, he's in his zone as he spins one off right there and spins it back right there. Look at that. Now it's starting to land everything. A big overhand right, comes back with the left hook. Zavada's just kind of there taking the punches right now, standing right out there in front, able to move forward, but Morono's too far moving back, too fast moving back, and he's just not able to close the distance and be effective.
Zavada's tough, though. Yeah,
the counter-striking Morono is what I like, John.
Oof, jeez. They're big wielding shots from Morono. Looping strikes. Tucking his chin. He's not afraid to bite down on his mouth guard, is he? And just see what.
Yeah, I like how he goes in and starts utilizing that lead hand, popping that jab, landing the left hook as Zavada comes in. And again, that right hand is high on the phone at all the time, and I love it. Doing a good job.
It is good, isn't it? Because even if he drops his hand when he gets tired, because he's got such a high guard, it's probably still only going to drop to cover his chin. Which is what
I know, and it's perfect because it's those punches that you don't see, especially when Zavada's trying to land that one. So that one is always on the horn, always on the phone. Something's always got to be there, right? You can't have both the way. So you need to have, you don't want to be double punching. And that's it. It's kind of funny because Morono will just start. He's letting Zawada kind of dictate the pace. If Zawada wants to be aggressive, then Morono will get over aggressive. If Zawada wants to just kind of stay back and keep a distance, then he'll just sit there and flick that jab. I don't know what Zawada's going to do now with this little bit of time left, but the one thing is Morono has just been on point. He's been accurate, 82 significant strikes, 86 total strikes. And again, it's just really close back and forth. Nobody wanting to do a clinch. Nobody wanting to shoot a takedown. And that's just been the fight, chat.
Zavada's trying to bob and weave coming now. He shoots a double on Morono, trying to take him down. 40 seconds left. Morono wraps the head. But now Zavada's got to build from here. And it looks like he's actually sunk to a hip.
Yeah, he's trying to sag back so he can't not holding on to those legs. Morono's probably messing around with the guillotine a little bit, see if he can lock something up. But
Zavada's got to go for I don't know what he's doing. He's just sitting here. He's losing the contest. He's now looking at a single, but he's given his head, and Morono's just wrapping that neck. Probably not got a great deal here.
And Morono ends up behind him, takes his back. Good scramble. I think it just was that. I don't know how else to put this, John. It was just Morono was just the better fighter. Just outpositioned him today. He just beat him. He just was the better fighter today.
Yeah. He's savvy. He's a savvy fighter, and he's well schooled. You can tell a fighter like that does a lot of good sparring.
Yep.
Because he's
a lot of technical working on it, right? Building that autopilot, having those things, the mundane that a lot of people don't like to do. The repetition over and over. Nothing for nothing other than just you got that just embedded. So it's just natural reaction. So you can make small adjustments outside of it, but your natural game plan, your natural reactions are always going to be there. And that's like you tell, he's trained. Really, he's well trained.
We mentioned that pad work earlier, and I see it more with the kind of the amateur guys coming through, but you'll see they have patterns on the pads.
Yeah.
And it doesn't kind of matter where the opponent is. They still have to almost look like they have to finish that combination before they move on to something else. But Morono's not throwing for the sake of just throwing. He's throwing what's appropriate within his arsenal to try and score points or do damage. But you only get that if you're if you go live a lot, and I feel like he's got a trusted group of people that he goes live with so that he can read the fight very well. That's what it looked like to me.
I love it. Inductees include George St. Pierre and the Jones versus Gustafson fight. The first
fight that was.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
Oh, there's still a part of me that thinks, did Gus actually win that one? It was so very close.
Tough. Unanimous
Beautiful
decision. Fight. Alex. See, I don't know, Zawada, like he had his hand up, you know what I mean? Kaipi, how you doing, Kippy? But no, and that's one thing, is like he had his hand up, thought he could win, but that's just, maybe your coaches should have told you. I don't know, were they, you know, you need to push this, you're behind. Maybe thought he was doing enough. Look at his longest training partner, Ricky Tercios. Look at big left, big right hand, overhand, right? What up? Jens and John, would you have liked to see the Gable Stevenson guy in MMA? Would you like to see Gable Stevenson in MMA?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. I mean, not in the UFC yet. I think he needs to go
just
out
in
there.
MMA.
Just in MMA. Yeah, before we, because some people get that all kind of mixed up. It is different, but yeah, why not? It sounds like he's playing the field very well, though.
He's doing a good job, isn't he?
He's trying to, you know, he's got a little deposit here. Let's see which one comes in. You know, he knows how to work the casino floor.
I got you. All right, everybody. So now we have a video coming up of the Dana White Contender Series. We'll see y'all in a second. Let y'all check this out.
Dana White's Contender Series.
We've seen this change the lives of so many fighters. This has launched their careers into the UFC.
This is it now, can't quit now. Feel the pressure is on the rise.
If you find somebody that could possibly win a world championship, that's why we do it.
The future of the UFC's in the stage of a new wave.
You can't just win, you have to dominate.
Mission in 2 weeks, and we made it.
This is your moment to shine.
It's about to get real.
It's a job interview, right? I love it.
The best unsigned talent on earth, you have the opportunity to show us what you got.
Make a statement and earn that UFC contract.
Perhaps future champions on display.
These guys know what's on the line. They want that contract.
Yeah, baby, I got this. It's about to get real.
What? Oh, I'm back. I had to get a bite though. Starving. Just so everybody was wondering, I got it, and now we're back. I got the All right, now we're back. It's like, no, you can take a bite. Everybody's got a bite. I've got sticky rice, and I've got sticky rice and pork belly, so it's happening. But
all right.
All right, we're getting it right there. I am.
Oh, main event time. God, this has gone quick.
Isn't it?
Mm.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I see that Miss John on commentary. Oh, thank you very much. I can't wait to be back. It's killing me. I've called one fight this year. And this was the card that was scheduled for London. So, yeah, it's a shame. But I'll be back next year. I'll be back with all the lyrics next year.
So Ruin, bruh, also looks like Modestus Blue is ACL, MCL, and PCL.
I think that's called the knee.
I think just blew his whole knee, right? I was gonna say that LCL. Oh my Lord, that's that's got, man. That'll be some time. Probably some time out for sure.
So I'm just looking in the chat there. So masto chatting. Say no to masticating. There's another word which we won't mention. And masto chatting. Another one. That's good. That's got to go in. That's got to go in my urban dictionary. That one. Oh, I've got to follow. Looks like I've got to follow here on the John Gooden UK Twitch. Well, I feel like I'm getting a nice welcome, a nice warm reception
so yeah,
here. I might
John
come on
Gooden
over.
UK Twitch chat, by the way. John Gooden UK Twitch.
Looks like I have to come over and, you know, do a couple of bits.
He's gonna be twitching. And that's one thing with Aspinall coming out. It just does not look like a heavyweight, number one, which I love. And then the other thing is yeah, I've got the where is my, there we go, getting this set up here. And Spivak. So we got the predictions are up. Chat, get in there and get after those. Get after those predictions. Channel points. Use them. Who's gonna win between Aspinall and Spivak? Number 13 and number 14. So again,
yeah, this is
it throws me off the way they move around. You don't realize it's like Spivak is literally, he's 260 pounds, 6'3", and you're looking at Aspinall, who's 6'5", 245. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm high on. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm high on Tom Aspinall. I know I'm a UK guy, and the best man must win. I can't remember seeing certainly a heavyweight out of the UK that moves quite like Tom Aspinall. He's light on his feet. The guy fought professional boxing. I've spoken with his dad at length, Andy Aspinall, who's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He was like back in the day seeking out seminars with Renzo Gracie when he used to come to Europe. Otherwise, he is completely self-taught and made it to black belts with no coach, self-taught. That's the kind of mind that Tom Aspinall has behind him. When Tom Aspinall was like 10, 11, 12 years of age, he was his dad's grappling dummy. You know, his dad would try and get some information. He would then go on the mat with his son, Tom. And by the way, Andy is like 5'10", and Tom being super tall is crazy. So Tom's been around it the whole time, but actually his dad wanted him to go into boxing and teamed him up with Peter Fury, Tyson Fury's father and coach. Yeah. So Tom Aspinall was brought in to the Tyson Fury camp to be a sparring partner, and he did very well. He went out and he won his first professional boxing match. But Tom's very much his own man. He's got his own thoughts, and he didn't like the way that professional boxing was dressed up, where you essentially have to pay your opponent's purse when you're on the up.
Yeah,
it's a weird kind of situation.
Yeah, it is. You got to build yourself. Yeah.
And you pay for the opponent. And he said, I don't know about this. I'm not sure. And he'd left like the wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and he was smashing everyone apparently on the UK scene. Transitioned to MMA. He was having a lot of problems finding fights in the UK scene. Just not that many guys. And when you've got the kind of record that he does, fighting out of Team Cowbon, you generate a big reputation for yourself. And the rest is history. We've seen him in the UFC.
He cracks me up, man. He's a good fighter. His style, his hair, just the way he throws. Yeah,
the Frank Mir style.
He's movement. Yeah, his hairstyle kills me. I love it. But
you know, he got, when he had the full Frank Mir hairstyle.
Yeah,
he went back to the gym and he was. They were doing some cage work. It got caught in the fence, and as he pulled away, a chunk of hair got pulled out, and it got infected. Seriously, it got infected. I shouldn't laugh.
I'm laughing. All right.
Then he had to get his hair taken down a little bit. But
that's horrible.
It is horrible.
It's horrifying.
But just but he's got a very dry sense of humor, has Tom Aspinall. I've done on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram, there's a conversation with him where we actually spoke about Cyril Gann versus Derek Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. He's funny. Like, I really like Tom Aspinall. I think he's going to do very well. And his wife is Polish, and he can speak a bit of Polish. So now he's got a little bit of support from Poland as well.
Oh, no. Oh, there you go. All right. So now Spivak, he's walking his way out. Here he comes. And, this is close for both of them. It's kind of a breakout moment. 13, 14.
Yeah.
This will be tough. So we'll have to see what happens. But he is, it was crazy. We were breaking down all these fights yesterday on Twitch.tv/UFC, and we kept wondering, where's all this ketchup coming from? That's what we got to call it, right? So we're calling it ketchup. And then we finally watched one of the Spivak's fight. And we're like, aha, there it is. And then, because he put the boots to his opponent at that one time. There's a lot of ketchup out there on the canvas. So
yeah, he's a problem. He's a problem.
He's tied fourth longest active win streak in UFC heavyweight division with 3, finished 11 of 13 wins, 5 knockouts, 6 submissions, and again, 8 first-round finishes. That's the one thing about this card, if you've noticed so far, a lot of them are highlighted with first-round finishing. They like to get it done quick.
Yeah. Well, he trains at the same gym as Alexander Volkov, also with Sergey Pavlovich, who was Tom Aspinall's previous opponent. So for them, their team, Strela Fight Team, they've been looking at Tom Aspinall, maybe not through Spivak's eyes, but through Pavlovich's eyes. So at least they were able to tailor a few different things here. Tom Aspinall had actually called out Sergey Spivak after his UFC debut. So he'd identified him as a guy who he wanted to test himself against. So although it's a late notice fight, they're both aware of one another. So I'm not looking too much into that. But also the heavyweights, right?
Yeah, which again, the way that they're moving around and just the mobility of him, you almost forget. When we're watching one fight and both of them are moving around, I'm like, wait a minute, they're heavyweights. I mean, it's just gone are the day, of just the big, round, dobied kind of heavyweight. I'm not saying that they're not there, but, and this one tied fourth longest active win streak in UFC. So they're both in there with 3. 100% finish rate, 100% finish rate with 8 knockouts, 9 first-round finishes. So again, both of them, they both have the same amount with 3. They're on a 3-fight win streak. They're coming out, they're after it, and they both like to knock people out, and they like to do it in the first round. So I guess the first 30 seconds is going to tell everything.
Ooh, hold your breath. I was so impressed with the way that Aspinall finished Arlovsky. Arlovsky was one of the guys that really, really brought me into this sport. I thought he was terrifying. I'll never forget a magazine. Must have been Fighters Only, and he was there with all of his curls, and he had maybe his fang mouthpiece in, and he had all these pit bull dogs, and I'm like, that dude is so scary. Anyway, I just fanboying out on Andrei Arlovsky, but the sequence that Aspinall used to close the range, to get to the back, and to sink that in.
How fast that was, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness. It was serious work, wasn't it?
No, he snatched it up so quick, and he tapped instantly. He didn't even fight it. It's like he didn't know if it was happening or whatever it was, but he just had no idea. And the prediction is still up, chat. The prediction is still up on with your channel points on who wins this fight. Combat Sambo. I love it. 13-2. And again, he's at 238 and a half. He's coming in skinnier compared to the stats that got him at 260. Look at him, though. He's killing me. Everybody in at 247. He's a negative 230 favorite.
Yeah.
Out of Liverpool.
Now, he's actually not from Liverpool. He's more from is it Wigan? I'm going to get it wrong now. Oh, where's the town he's from? Sort of more, it's like Greater Manchester, but the guys in Liverpool will own him. They'll take him because he obviously comes out of Team Cowboy, which is very much in Liverpool.
All right.
But I'm just shining a bit of love because I know that the guys from Aspinall's town, they kind of hate you there. Hold on a minute. Liverpool and Manchester have a bit of a rivalry, you see.
I got you. So here we go. Righty versus lefty. Again, look at the size of Aspinall. It's impressive. I mean, the way he bounces around, the athleticism, the feints, the way he's just kind of
quick.
Yep. And then look, he's stepping outside, switches his stance back up right there. And he's already got Spivak against the fence, pushing and using that outside track to circle. But, this is that feeling out process, chat. Again, when they like to knock each other out, nobody wants to give up that first moment, right? That first piece of weakness or that first opening where they can get hit. But again, I like how the 1-2 by Aspinall and a jab to the belly hole, a quick jab to the belly hole for Aspinall.
So Spivak has been stopped only one time. He's never been submitted. He has been stopped, but we'll see. On the other side, Aspinall he's been submitted, and he's also been disqualified. It's something he doesn't like to talk about. They're both obviously very tough. They're so quick, that 1-2.
You see how he stuffed that rad. That 1-2 is fast, and he's timing it really well. Spivak is against the fence almost, and he doesn't have much. See, he can't back up that much, and Aspinall's doing a good job of cutting him off, controlling him, corralling him to that fence, and then landing that 1-2, and he can't go backwards to stop it. You know, and that's the one thing is, I don't know, like, you're sitting here trying to figure out what Spivak's doing. He's more, you know, Aspinall's already starting to win this fight because he's making Spivak react.
Yeah. He's so fast in and out. It looks like Spivak's trying to counter, but Aspinall's in and out with that 1-2 gone.
Yeah.
And by the time Spivak's come back with something, you know, he's just chasing shadows.
Yep. And then he switches up his stance a little bit.
Oh, the sneaky uppercut.
Nice rear uppercut. I like how he's doing everything with that. He's kind of jumping in a little bit with that lead hook and then firing that right hander. He just fired that right uppercut underneath, but he bounces up on his feet and moves around, really aware. You see how he's judging the range? He knows where the range is right now, and it's perfect.
Oh, he's had to defend a takedown here, though. Spivak shot in and framing off. That's a wide frame, isn't it? Really wide framing from... Oh, there's the elbow. Oh, he's dropped him. Oh. Dropped him with that elbow.
Big shots, big shots.
Oh, my goodness.
Chad, he had an overhook.
Oh, my goodness.
Fired an elbow from inside the clinch work. Inside the clinch work. I loved it. Overhook, boom. Fired that elbow, pop, and just sent him down. He didn't even know he was getting hit. And that was on his. He tied up and ripped him wide open.
Oh, my good Lord. Hey, gents, you were talking about it earlier on the break. On the break, land something. Use that opportunity in that freeze frame. That's what he did.
Right there. They had the clinch, and they were stepping back, and boom, he fired that elbow on the inside. Catch him. Make him pay. Right off the bat, you know, and here we go. We're going to see it again, but I was impressive. Look, just right in their position, fired the knee.
Oh, it's lovely.
I loved how he fired a knee and an elbow from the same side. He fired the right knee and used that momentum to get, look, he got the hand down.
Lovely.
The knee dropped the hand down, right, and then he fired the elbow over the top. Gangster.
That's a beautiful technique. Real Muay Thai stuff, right? Propel yourself forward, raise that knee, and then land it back.
He had to keep his hand. Spivak had to keep his hand down to his side so that he could pay attention, and he ripped him wide open, quick. I mean, look at that knee, absorbed it in that elbow.
That is scary.
What a shot! What a shot! And it's the way he threw him at the same time. Chat. He threw the knee and the elbow almost at the same time, so he had to make a choice, and he blocked the knee, and the elbow just lambasted. Hit him right outside the bone and opened it up, and there was a little bit of ketchup was coming out, but that was quick.
I did a show called Fight Day Focus for the UFC, and we had Paul Craig, UFC light heavyweight, on there. He's trained with him in the past, and he believes that he'll get to the belt within a year. And I thought that was lofty. I'm like, I don't know. It took Cyril Gann 7 fights in the UFC before he got to take that interim title. But you know what? If he keeps
the kind of damage and danger that he's causing, what's the point? I mean, throw him up there now. Let's go, you know?
He's talking with Bisping now.
Extremely happy. He loves fighting, and, you know, see, you get nervous. You get scared to death. So he's got that active win streak with 4. Siddle's got 7, Ngannou with 5, and Tibura with 5. So he's staying active. I like it. He's staying active. He needs a top 10 opponent. I'm with you, Ruin. I'm with you. I think it's time. It's definitely time that he gets himself a top teener.
So here's the thing. When I spoke with his dad, this is interesting. His dad has got a spreadsheet of every single one of Tom's fights, grappling matches, this, that, and the other. He has links to who it was, the fight itself, all the information, what they did well, what they didn't do well, everything. His whole career is in a spreadsheet. And he told me that Tom has only had like 20 minutes of time in the octagon or even in the cage. I can't remember what it was.
He's beaten them all he's got. They said 9 first-round knockouts are now 10. So he's not in there very long.
He doesn't get any work in, and they're scared that he's going to get accelerated too fast because he keeps doing his.
Because then you're going to fight that one tough fighter, and then it's going to be you weren't ready for it, kind of thing. I got you.
He doesn't know what he's going to be like over 3. He's never felt that at this level. So It's kind of a poison chalice, right?
Yeah.
He's going to have no choice because the guy is marketable. All of the commentators right now are singing his praises. You've just said it yourself. Get him up there, top 10. And I can't disagree with that either. I'm just trying to give you some insight.
No, I like it. No, it makes absolute sense because that's what will happen. Is sometimes when they get up to those top guys, like, all right, well, let's go into deep water and see if you can swim. And then they get put in there and they weren't ready for it. But if they're winning and beating everybody so fast, they're just going to have to find out, and it could be that moment, what happens afterwards, right? You go out there and they get the win, and you're like, woof, that was tough, or you get beat, but you can come right back to it and figure it out. But they're building up. We've got a big card. We've got a big card coming up here with Ortega and Volkanovski, and, it's I believe we have a Diaz and a Lawler and a Shevchenko and a Miller fighting on this card as well. And
one of the
they're
most
going to be
epic cards.
I think I have heard that are they going to be showing a couple of the fights? Did it say that? They're going to be showing a couple of the prelim fights on Fight Pass? Don't you dare tell me that. I'm going live on Fight Pass. I mean, I'm just saying, wait, what? Give me that. But look at that. And then Curtis Blades, Rosenstruik, Calvillo, and Andrade. But Robbie Lawler and Nick Diaz, a 5-rounder, another 5-rounder, and a 5-rounder.
There will be blood.
5-rounders.
There will be blood.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Then we've got the prelims, which is now this is.
Look at this.
That's what I'm saying, right? Marias and Merabdashvili, Hooker and Nasrat.
Chris Daukaus. He's a guy that I can
Chris
see
Daukaus.
Tom Aspinall. Yeah, I see him and Tom Aspinall meeting one another. I feel that's in their future.
Well, he's number
Daukaus is
he's
good,
10
man.
and 7, so
yeah,
it would work. Oh, that's crazy though. I'm telling you, now we've got the main event coming up, chat.
The UK guys doing the business so far. It's all on Darren Till. Massive, massive fight for Till.
All right, so and speaking of that, we have a video. We have a video for you, chat, coming up right here, right now, of the main event, Brunson versus Till. Enjoy.
I've had a few setbacks, but no injuries stopping me, not ever. I'm telling you right now, my mind is bulletproof. That's what's going to carry me to the top. So we keep going, we keep hauling through it all, and we're going to get there. I cannot wait to fight Derek Brunson, get my arm raised, and just let off that year's worth of pent-up aggression and emotion. I'll have earned it. I'll have earned it the hard way and the right way.
UFC goal is still the motivation, I'm gonna keep going until I'm able to get it. I'm really close right now, and I just have to take care of this one, and I should be right there. You have to continue to grow and get better each fight. Now it's all coming together, and it's my time.
Derek Brunson, 5 years, ranked in the top 10. The winning streak is now 4. He has not lost since moving his training camp down to Sanford MMA and proving the best may still be to come for Derek Brunson.
The game plan for this fight is just to take it to him, show him things that he haven't seen, and really make him question himself. Can he push? Can he take that next step? There's no secret. Everybody know what my best attribute is, which is wrestling. But, I like knocking guys out also.
Oh, my good lord!
Hey, I'm a bad man right now.
Oh, Derek Brunson does it again!
I've been watching Derek. He is on a 4-fight win streak. He's been fighting tremendously. I think this is the best Derek, blonde Derek Brunson. But I'm a man on a mission. I want to be the greatest fighter ever in mixed martial arts.
Well, Darren Till is truly a take-on-all-comers type of fighter. This is a hard-nosed, high-level striker out of Liverpool, England.
I'm going to knock him out early. I'm going to get him out there straight away and just punch his skull clean off.
Beautiful work from Darren Till. He knows the finish is there.
I just want to go out there and just destroy Derek Brunson.
He's out.
He's out. Darren Till.
You don't want to go a 5-round war with me when I'm just dragging him down, beating him up, punching on him, looking to finish. I don't think he's ready for a grind with Mr. Brunson.
Big ground and pound here from Derek Brunson.
Now that's it, he's out.
When I start posturing up, looking to get the finish, it's going to be a rough night for him.
Beautiful elbow. That one really hurt him. Oh, he's out.
Derek's in my way. I've got to go out there and put a clinic on Derek, which I will be doing. Then that's it. The title shot's right there after it.
If you want to fight Izzy Till, you have to go through me. And if you can't do it, that means I'm next.
And we are back, and we've got a main event. Chat, what's going on out there in the chat world? How is everybody doing?
There's a lot of people saying that Till is too one-dimensional. What do you reckon?
Well, I would like to see, is Brunson going to shoot the takedowns and you know what I mean? I don't know. That'll be the biggest thing is the wrestling, if he's even going to utilize the wrestling or
I think he will.
That,
I think he will. Statistically, he's been using his wrestling increasingly more through this win streak.
And
certainly
I like that.
in his I mean, it makes sense. He's so good at it, right? Kevin Holland, I can't remember how many times he took him down, but it was a lot. It was over 10, I think.
It was way more and he also kept popping up, popping up, but they were counting each one of them as kind of a takedown. It could have been, well, you just got one takedown-ish as they keep standing up, but you know what I mean? But we'll have to see. That would be the one thing. I'm kind of curious about their game plans. What is it that, Till's going to do? And this will be fun. This will be fun to watch.
Yeah, it will. Because at the last, there's been a couple of Till's fights which were very kind of feint heavy. You're trying to work out or get something moving, get something going. And the other thing is, this is Southpaw, which we spoke about on Twitter yesterday, where not everyone's as used to that.
Yeah,
and it's whether you can get into your groove as quickly when you're facing someone with that same stance.
And how you utilize that, again, going against that jab hand, stepping that foot outside. But I like it, man. Yeah, when two Southies are going, like I said, I like to fire right over the top, with that too, right over your jab. And it just depends with the feints, and we'll have to see. But I'm kind of stuck watching. I like watching Till hit pads right in front of me, which is impressive. Then we still have the channel points. Who wins this fight? Y'all got to get in on that predicting business. Predicting. We have one left. Upper butt. Any female fights on the card? There was. Molly
McCann. Yeah,
Molly McCann.
People are saying Sweet Caroline in the chat. I think I'm going to disappoint some people. I don't know, but Till said that's when the fans are there. I think he might try and come out without any music at all. We'll find out shortly.
Oh, really? Just walk out in dead silence?
Just in silence, yeah.
That wouldn't be bad.
He used to come out to Phil Collins, Terry Etim, who's from that gym, who's sadly on the Barboza highlight, that spinning wheel kick.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it's like, that's very unfortunate for Terry. But Terry used to walk out to that, and it was sort of in homage to his forefather in the gym. And then he switched it up to Sweet Caroline, and the fans love it. And it's like party time when he walks out.
Come out in dead silence. I love it.
That'll be good. You talk about his pad work. So I got to produce the feature for the UFC. I go out in the field and do a lot of the producing work for them in Europe. And Darren hitting pads is just different to other guys. It just is. It's very intense. He grunts and growls like a gorilla as he's hitting those pads. And he's so big, his movements are massive, it's impressive. Not many people hit them like him.
I got you. Okay, now everybody out there in the YouTube world, what's up, YouTube? How you doing? Make sure you bring yourself on over here to Twitch TV/UFC and hit that follow. We're going after the 200K. By the way, quick pick. Hey, congratulations. After a year, my man. And when I say I'm not gendering, I'm just saying my person, my individual. But out there in YouTube world, make sure you get over here and hit that follow. Get in here and hang out with us. And let's get to that. Let's get to that 200,000. Wait, the quarter milli as Tilly is walking towards the cage. Did I do it?
I see what you done there.
Did that work?
I think it's quiet. Gents, I think there's no music. I don't think there's any music. He's his own man.
No music and a little bit of chanting from the crowd.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to that 250K, 250K. You know what I'm saying? No music for Till. So
no music.
We'll just kind of talk it out.
one thing that I have to say, because everyone knows Darren Till, obviously, you know, he's a top guy in the division, but there's a lot of stuff that he does online. He's kind of outrageous. He's a funny guy, meme king, etc., etc. But we can't get away from the fact that the kid is just after greatness. He wants to be a great. He doesn't just want to be the champ. He wants to be a great. And I believe him. Like, I see the work he does in the gym. He's not like what you guys see online when Darren walks in the gym, and it's a lot about the way Colin Heron runs practice, but he's quiet. He looks at himself in the mirror. He has his own section of the gym, which is his own, where he's, you know, just getting ready for what needs to be done. And he works damn hard. He really, really does. And I think people forget that sometimes. He's intense in the gym. He's got an energy about him. So don't get it twisted, people. I know we've been seeing him being funny recently because he's been out a little while, but when he's looking at those 3 letters on those gloves, you know, he's here to do something special. But he's got, for me, the most underrated guy in the top 10.
I like that. This is gonna be a great fight, just trying to figure out what they're gonna do. I like his striking, and if he can just dominate with the jab, how many times we in fights and it's just, you just work that jab. The jab has got to set a lot of things up, the jab. And that goes for everybody out there just listening, watching, and trying to get into this game or any game. It's that jab, right? That jab can really set everything up. And it's crazy. The main event at 11 p.m., I tell you, man, right? You guys this is perfect.
Yeah, 11 p.m. It's great for us in Europe. There was someone earlier saying they hated the early fights. Listen, give us one. Give us one.
Hey, I'm glad you got it. I'm glad y'all are getting it. It's perfect.
Matchsticks in our eyes, trying to stay awake for the fights normally. So give us one.
Right. And you get one. Main event at 3 p.m. I think it was perfect because, like I said, I've been wanting to change up my own personal stream times, and I'm thinking right around that 3 o'clock is a good time. It's weird, but I do like that. I like it. Yeah, we had to give you one because I'm always trying to think about you all across the pond. You
we
stuck in the middle of the night and morning time, you know? Drawing Slim, who do I have in this one? Oh, you know me. I just got a big smile on my face. I'm sitting here with John Gooden doing this watch along for all of you. So, you know me, man. I'm just I'm here to break down both sides, and I have a small opinion on what I want to do, but I don't want to jinx anybody, I think is the biggest thing. I feel bad, like, I jinxed them or something. But every now and then,
jinx.
Yeah. But every now and then I'll have that, you know, there's somebody I'm rooting for regardless. You know, I got to go with them. But I tell you what, he looks ready to go, Brunson. This is going to be fun to watch.
Since he's been down with Henry Hoof at Sanford, like, he hasn't lost.
He's on, I was going to say, 4-fight win streak, most first-round finishes in UFC middleweight history with 7, 4th most knockouts in UFC middleweight history with 7. So this has been a card of first-round finishing knockout artists so far, you know, and that's basically what's been happening. So I think that really does fall into, you know, Darren Till's favor in the aspect that that's what he's trying to do too. He's not really trying to get out there and point spar with anybody. He wants to get that knockout. So we're going to find out really fast as Brunson steps into the cage.
I think this is maybe his 19th fight in the UFC, 6th main event. Like, he's a blue chip guy. Like, he's had all the experience, you know. This is a natural habitat for him now. And blonde Brunson is something special. I'm liking it.
Yeah.
New team, new hairdo, or new color hair. And
I'll be excited about that. The new team that you're talking, you know, that's got to be a lot of fun. I mean, you start to develop a rapport and, you know, the excitement. 37 years old, though, 6'1", 186. 37 years old.
Yeah, he's got to make it count, right? He's got to make this run count. And that's why they're vying for that opportunity to fight Adesanya, you know, or indeed if Whitaker and Adesanya do make that fight, then whoever the winner is.
So do we get a one-leg stomp? Are we going to get a bunny hop? Or are we going to get nothing from Buffer when it's time? You know what I mean?
360.
He hurt his knee, so he's been keeping it safe ever since the blowout, right?
Man,
So-
I love spending time with Bruce because Bruce is in his own world.
Oh,
It's
he's
Bruce's
100%.
world.
It's a buffer
This is his
zone.
bubble.
Buffer
It's
zone.
so crazy. He's such a crazy guy.
Yep.
It's brilliant. And
Yeah.
I stand there and just in awe of the conversations I have with Bruce Buffer are like nothing else I've ever experienced.
No.
He's just so unique.
All I'll ever say is pound and a hug, bro. Pound and a hug. Boom. I'm in. How you doing? I mean, I love him.
I don't know if he'll do that. He was very particular through the pandemic when we were in Abu Dhabi. He was, John, where's your mask? John, I'd have to pull my mask. Even in the gym, I'm on the treadmill and he's like, John, where's your mask? And I'm like, okay. You know,
Even when I'm running, it's like, I can't be hyperventilating with that. That's it. I'm going outside. I'm running outside. That's the only part that was tough, right? Is trying to run and stuff with the mask. I'm like, there's something. I can't run with, like, I can swim with the snorkel, I guess. Let's go.
Yeah.
But I love
look
it.
at Darren. It's right over in the center of that octagon.
Walking right to the center, looking right at Brunson, walked across the. Right in his face. Look at Brunson, though. I like it. Ooh, he's being. Ooh, Chad, if you can't see it, I'm telling you.
Brunson's just shaking it out loose.
Plus 150 underdog.
I don't know how. Honestly, listen, I'm a UK guy, and Darren he's a friend of mine. But I'm not sure how we got to. I'm not sure how we got to the underdog. I mean, it's not wide. But
I think it's just what he's doing. Maybe they're throwing the age. What it's based on what Till can do. I think there's still we do expect a lot from Till because he's been in for 18-3-1. He's been in a lot of main event fights as well. He's been a lot, I mean, up there in the top fights. He's been running
out
around
for a while. He's broke his collarbone. He's been out.
Now he's been out. And to come in as a favorite like that.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is like I know why Darren it might be that, but I'm wondering how the bookmakers have, because the evidence that's out in the world, I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
we will find out.
Here in just seconds, chat. The main event, Brunson versus Till. Here we go.
I love the flicks, like the little details that Darren throws out.
Yeah, just constantly let those hands be open. Look, keep him loose, slapping the hand. He's already fired a couple of lefts. Look at that. Lead hook left. He looks like he's trying to get in there now. Brunson.
That
gets
Till.
In.
Oh, that's good. That's good for Till. He stopped a takedown there from Brunson. Managed to turn out of that, which will give him some confidence.
Yeah, but I like kind of what DC said too. It's a hard thing to wrestle when you're on your heels. And that's the one thing when he came out there throwing that sweeping hook in that left hand is putting Brunson backwards, which does make the takedown attempt easier to halt. See, look, he's catching him right at the end of the punch. Brunson's got to be careful right there because Till has a longer reach, I think, than he knows.
Yeah, and also, gents, a lot of these, he's getting a lot of reactions out of Brunson, right? Brunson's just leaning. He's leaning back, but his chin's open. Till's the kind of fighter that's looking for this. There you go.
There it is. Just again, he's 1-2 and over the top. And look at that quick 1-2. Brunson fires the left,
that's
shoots a double.
Lightning quick double.
I like how fast he snatched that double.
Oh,
he fired
my
a
good
big
Lord.
left into a quick double, and that's going to change up everything from this point. Now, as he goes to pass guard, gets into side control, he's going to get into half guard and sit down on Till. This is where Till's got to work. Again, if he's just hooking that head, see, put a knee on the arm to open up that right hand to the face. He's got him in a modified crucifix, so to speak. But that's also Till trying to push the leg.
Crossbody control in the top now from Brunson. He's working that elbow. Till's not digging for any underhooks here, gents. And he's always talking about how people can't hold him down. But at the moment, he's monitoring triceps. He's working off of one side, but it feels like a bit of a negative look. It's not.
Yeah,
here we go.
Here we go. Underhook and get active. There you go. Get your guard back on one leg. Get him up. Load him up. Create some space. 100%.
Yeah, you've got to measure it though, right? Because I know that elbows are incoming in these frames, but you've almost got to take one to get back to your feet, right?
Yeah, you do. It's just the trade. You got to do the exchanging, and that's again as Till's trying to posture up. Brunson's trying to posture up in half guard, throwing big punches. Boy. See, that's the thing. Till is sitting too long. He's too lost.
referee stepping in a little there.
He's getting close. He had to turn into him and see. Look, that's the problem. Your only relief from this can't be to just lock up like Till's trying to do and just wait for the referee to stop it. Brunson is staying too aggressive. He's taking that right hand, pinning down the left hand of Till, landing big shots. And we're getting close to seeing a fight being stopped unless Till's got to get, again, push, create space.
Big shots. But Brunson's like throwing these down from the lighting rig. He's bouncing his body across. He's putting some serious power behind this.
And you know what I love about the power that he's throwing, but he hasn't taken off the pressure. One arm is always hunkering down on Till. One arm is always smothering him. He's constantly smothering him. He's in the perfect position. Most wrestlers love this, sitting in that half guard, pushing on the face, ripping a couple of big shots. GG.
I love how he's framing one side, gents, and then completely rotating his body and then elbowing from the other side.
Yeah, big shots. Again, this is where Till is lost. He can't pummel inside. He's trying to turn in to face him, and it's just a flurry of punches that Brunson's trying to put him away with.
Why isn't he? He should try and get his back to the fence. He had the opportunity to get his back to the fence. Now he's can try that, but he needs to use that fence to try and get back to his feet.
Yeah, he needs to get into the guard position. He needs to try to kick away.
Get
back up to his feet.
A minute left though.
A minute left, and look, he whispered to him. He's like,
he patted him on the back.
Yep, telling him good job, or who knows what he's saying. Big elbow right there in that pummeling position. And now they break back to the center. Here we go. Look at that. It swelled that right eye of Till's quick with that elbow.
Yeah.
Look at there's Till with the good left elbow.
30 seconds. Till's
did you see what it did, John? More than anything, that aggression by Till has been nulled because he doesn't want to step into a takedown. Just that one takedown, chat. And that's just in general, changing that level and just that one takedown has now frozen Till up. And now this is where Brunson can start to push the pace. And if Till can get that courage back to the throw, can Brunson dip underneath and boom, get that takedown? But see how it freezes him up if you're watching it. And if you're not, that's just what happened. It has literally put the brakes on Till. He does not want to get taken down again with 1 second left.
He lost 3 minutes. He lost 3 minutes of that one takedown, a takedown that came from the open space as well. That wasn't a takedown up against the fence. He fired
a big overhand left, and then he kind of like a feint boom, but used that overhand left to continue the momentum. But that elbow on that eye.
Yeah, that's bad. He's broken that.
Don't blow your nose.
Yes.
Cat, don't blow your nose will be the number one boo-boo.
The thing is, I mean, again, this is going to sound very strange what I'm going to say.
Boom.
Till hasn't got very big eyes. Like that swelling, that's not going to take a lot to completely take away his vision. Good Lord, we're looking at some of the replays of these elbows.
The elbows and stuff that he's doing. But look, there's the one right there. And that, nope, you already had that swelling on the right eye.
Yeah,
dog, it's swelling quick.
Yeah, that is. They worked on that, but Till's not seeing a great deal out of that. The good thing it's his lead eye as well, isn't it? Out of southpaw.
Yeah, and that's it. It's that cracking that left hand over the top. So here we go with round 2. And again, it'll be the matter of can Till look, see, and already Brunson is chasing after that single, sending Till on his back heels, running away, but he's already changing that level. And again, Till's got to get past that. He's got to get past that quote unquote fear of the takedown, and he's got to start throwing again, right?
Oh, he missed. And now he's wrestling hard here.
He fired a big shot, body lock by Brunson.
Good.
Upper
really
body
good.
Lock. Till's doing a good job of scrambling with him. Overhook, pushed him up against the fence. He's got to figure out how to pummel inside.
Good balance there by Till. He fought hard not to be taken down there.
Yeah, 100%. Now
there's a little bit of space here for him to repummel.
But he's doing a good job. Brunson's got the underhook and the head in the pocket on the underhook side, which is great. He can sit there and can control the bicep of the other side, and that's the one thing that's make it difficult. But now Till is able. Look, Till spins off,
nice.
Gets it away. Good.
Oh, reshoot.
And the minute he tries to throw a 1-2, Brunson shoots. Body lock.
Interesting. Brunson. Oh, I did walk him to the fence as well. I wondered if Brunson was going to try and take him down in open space again, so he's not against the fence, because Till didn't seem to have a lot of natural options to try and get back to his feet.
You know, and the one thing that you got to pay attention to as he's trying to dig in for that underhook over there on that side is Till ready for the anaerobic side of this fight? All that lactic acid and everything starting to get in there. The more that we pummel, the more that we wrestle, the redder our shoulders get. The hands don't want to close. I mean, this is a great job if you're Brunson against somebody that wants to sit out there and be a striker. Take all that steam as he sticks the jab and they're back to the center. But that wrestling, that's the one that'll negate all that boxing really fast if they keep having to get in there and do too much more wrestling as he shoots in on a double one more time.
Yeah.
Picks him up.
Turn him away from the fence as well. Now I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, Jens, but should Darren not be trying to inch his way back to the fence? And
he needs to stay off the fence. He needs to circle. He needs to do a lot more circling and have that open space to try to defend these takedowns.
Oh, but I mean here, now he's here and open. Do you think he should try and get back to the fence and get back to his feet?
Yes, him. I like it. Yes. But he also, what he needs to be doing is trying to get his guard back. Again, when all you're left doing is just sitting there trying to bear hug the head and hold the head down, that is a bad spot because that's not going to last that long. If Brunson, unless Brunson decides, especially when he's sitting in half guard, he starts running knees, they're not going to stand this up. You got to shrimp out, get your guard back and build and start from there again. But just holding on to the head, and just trying to keep him pinned down and wait for Herb Dean to stop the fight. That's no bueno. You don't want that. You know what I mean? But it's starting to work because he doesn't want to waste his energy. But that's the only thing that he's doing. He's not trying to improve and get his guard or anything back right now.
And the other thing that Brunson's able to do is grind on that eye.
100%.
They're so close together. He can use that head pressure and grind on that eye. Yeah, he's doing it. It's like, I mean, you know, you're going to do this is warfare out there right now.
Well, and that's all he's got to do right there. Fall onto his right hip where he's on the half guard side and turn back and start attacking that leg and get your mount. Go right into full mount, start playing with the leg, start raining shots, knees to the body, and make him, there you go. Now he's grinding on the face, but make him let go like he just did so you can posture up and start throwing strikes. But you see what I mean? This can't be what Till's whole game plan is right now.
I'm just
going to hold this body lock until the referee stops it up. He's already been down here for a minute, and it's just not going to work. Brunson's going to start pushing.
Arm triangle. He's got to be careful here. Is he going for it? No. He wants to beat him up.
And I like that. The body head. He does a cross face when Till tries to turn in towards him. And he starts cranking on that neck a little bit.
He's going for it. He hasn't got the, no, he has to be under the arm, right? He can't get this.
He's just doing something uncomfortable to the head. He's just cranking on it. Now he gets the other foot in. Till does. But Brunson, once again, this is a wrestler's haven right here. Sitting on one leg, cross body, good push away. Till tries to get back to his feet.
Oh, he's giving his back.
He gave up his back.
No hooks,
throws big shots.
Beating on him, man. He hasn't got control. Till does the right thing by getting to the fence. 10 seconds left, so that's another round to Brunson. Got to wonder if that first round was a 10-8 as well, gents. I
mean, I tend not to say it, but at the same time, what you have to wonder is, look how tired Till. He's looking beat up. He's looking tired. I don't know if he was expecting to be in this kind of a wrestling match. And Brunson's just going to run away with this. If he gets that takedown, he's in such control, you know, that Till just doesn't really have he's not able to do anything off of the ground.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They're showing a replay and Till went for a knee just as Brunson was level changing, and it just gave his hips away.
He gave the hips away 100%. And then so he went straight for a lock and he was already ready to go, and he needs to start scrambling sooner. And definitely, like you said, he's got to get off the fence. He needs to stay out to the center.
Yeah. And if he does get dropped, that DC was just highlighting, if he does get put on the mat, he needs to get back towards the fence.
Yep.
To try and use the fence as it means.
Got to get the scrambling. As soon as you hit the floor, it's not the time. It is not the time to lay back. And again, jiu-jitsu, they'll go straight for the guard. But a wrestler, you hit the floor, boom, you got to pop up as fast as you can while the scramble in the middle of that transition and utilize it. Right eye is still open, just a skosh. Here we go, round 3.
Right, Till needs to pull something out the bag here. I feel like this is a key round for him as well, because your power is going to be going down when you get into those championship rounds. Till's a powerful a powerful striker, but it's only gonna diminish past this point. It looked like he did connect there with Brunson pretty heavy. Uppercuts, I think, is something maybe that Till should be showing as well.
You know, he needs it there. And, you know, not a leg kick. And there you go. See, he keeps bombing in with that left hand, and Brunson catches it and then spins. And that's the one thing. Add in some circle.
Oh, he got an elbow. That looked like a nice elbow there by Till. But Brunson's poised once again.
But see, I like to see now, Till, get on your wheels a little bit. There's a leg kick. Circle a little bit. Circle, and attack. Stop just going straight forward and straight back, because Brunson's able to just change levels. So where's my circle? Touch him differently, you know, touch him in the circles, and rather than going straight forward and straight back, work that and add that leg kick in.
So good look from. He's looking good in this third round, though.
Yeah,
Till's
I like his comeback. I like his comeback.
It's looking good. It's looking strong. There's lots of fight still in him.
I like that 1-2. There you go.
That framing is working now. Before it wasn't.
There's the 1-2. Nice distance.
He's backed him up. He's hit him again.
Caught him again.
No way.
See, now he's easing in. If you noticed, fight it off. Brunson gets it.
Still digs.
He's not stepping in as he's still fighting. Kicks it up.
He's giving up
into the mount.
He's giving up the mount.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Got 3 minutes and he's in the mount.
Brunson's going to turn forward. He's going to give up his back. He's got the legs in. Brunson's got the legs in. He's in trouble.
He is. That's how he's got it. He's tapped. He's tapped. Brunson wins. Brunson wins in the third. And he extends his win streak.
You know, he got aggressive. He went aggressive. He went after it. And it's he's calling Israel. But I don't know if I want that. But so we got to do this real quick. Chat, having all this, with all this said, we got to figure out fight of the night. I don't know what chat thinks about with fight of the night, what we've got with the performance of the night. And then, you know, I think the biggest thing is with Brunson. I know he wants the title shot, but do you really think that'll be next?
I mean, listen, if you're going to rematch anyone, it's got to be Whittaker, right? It's the UFC will make that. Whittaker has looked outstanding.
Yeah.
And then Cannonier, you know, mate, I think it's a situation like at welterweight where Usman's talking about lapping everyone. And the thing is, the champ, he has the ultimate call on this one. But I sympathize with Brunson because he's, since that Adesanya fight, he's looked incredible.
Yeah.
He really has.
Yeah. Made a good job with the aggression right here. And one of the things, before it's too late with all that, I just want to make a quick call out there. We're going after that 250,000 follows. YouTube, you're out there. What's up? How you doing? Make sure you come through Twitch TV/UFC. Hit that with the follow. We're going after the 200. Then we're working our way to 250. I mean, we're just going to keep going after, you know, it's fun. And don't forget, all subs go to the American Cancer Society. Much love and appreciation to all you subbers out there, everybody coming through with your time. But that's the one thing we need to figure out is, you know, here's a question for you, a couple that, but your thoughts on the Volkanovski versus Ortega in a few weeks?
I was so surprised by the way that Ortega completely changed everything. His whole team, his hair, and he was doing so well. All right, I know that he didn't make it to the title, but small adjustments, right? At the top, 1 or 2% makes the difference. But yet he threw it all out and went again, and he looked phenomenal last time out. I was so impressed with what I saw. And that makes me really consider this next one. But Volkanovski's so powerful. He's got that kind of style as well, which shuts people down. The leg kicks. He's a real athlete. He's very strong. I'm very excited now to see, after those two have spent so much time in each other's company as well. That has got me more into it. But like, I'm not saying I was looking past Ortega, but I was certainly back on the Ortega train after his last performance.
I get it. See, to me, it's probably the greatest comeback story ever to get a rematch with Max Holloway is go out there and win the world title.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, by the by, I want this rematch, but now I'm the champ. You want to talk about coming around all the way, you know what I mean? And to me, there could be a lot, and I mean a lot of fun with that, with Ortega going out there and getting the win like that. I mean, talk about, honestly, literally, the best way to get your rematch is be the champion and defend your belt. I mean, that could make for a lot of excitement, but Volkanovski is what Volkanovski is. I mean, he's a phenomenal fighter. Then we've got, of course, we have Shevchenko and Murthy.
Yeah, I mean, Shevchenko for me is she's my favorite. She's my favorite female fighter to watch. I love watching Rose Namajunas. I love her work. She's such a great mixed martial artist. I've been lucky to meet Shevchenko a couple of times. Again, just a different conversation. The kind of conversations that I've had with Shevchenko are different to conversations I've had with all other fighters. She's very martial arts, not necessarily spiritual, but just the way that she talks from the part of the world that she's from. I actually met her mum. I sat on a bus with her mum in Turkmenistan at the like Asian martial arts games or some like Olympics in this crazy country called Turkmenistan, which has got a military dictator. Anyway, her mum is the head of the Muay Thai Association. It's just weird, right? Yeah, it's because it's from Kyrgyzstan. And so I had these conversations with Valentina. She's a real sweetheart. She's a real sweetheart, but an absolute destroyer in the octagon. And I'm a sucker for clean work. Like Morono's work tonight is not what I call clean work necessarily. I get it, and I obviously it's effective, but I'm a real sucker for clean work, and it doesn't get much cleaner than Shevchenko. Laura Murphy's a workhorse in this division. She deserves
She's
that
a workhorse,
shot.
but you're not going to get it. The thing is, you're not going to make it ugly. You're not going to make Shevchenko. I just don't know who can put her in a dogfight. She's just way too disciplined.
So
she's perfect. She's a sniper out there, and it's really impressive. I think I'm with you. I don't even know. And then of course, I'll let you have an opinion. I'm not having one, Diaz versus Lawler, other than I'm excited for both of them. I've got all my game up nutrition and my represent gear everywhere. So, you know what I mean? And like I said, but I'm excited for both of them, but I'm going to let you take that one.
Listen, I've been following this sport a long time now. And so I know the history of it. And I think of like that round with Paul Daly and Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler, even down to like the Melvin Manhoff, and like he's savage. And you guys, like as a team, and Robbie's journey, and Rory McDonald, and then how it's kind of dropped off for him a little bit. But I just don't know what we're going to get. I really don't, because Nick Diaz has been out for so long. I don't care what his pictures look like. I've seen enough guys that look like they're in physically good shape, but haven't been doing the reps, haven't been getting the rounds in.
Yeah,
they're trying things differently. Like Anderson Silva in the end of his MMA days was very experimental and using like Filipino boxing techniques because he could, but it just wasn't working for MMA. Like, what are we going to get from Nick Diaz? I don't know. I love it though, and I love that they're getting this showcase, this spotlight. 5 rounds is interesting for me. I do think that scar tissue is going to be tested. That's for sure. But listen, they've got such strong fan bases, and for those that are newer to following mixed martial arts or the UFC, you're in for a treat. And in the build up to this, you're going to see
the build up,
the throwback looks at what fighting used. When Robbie with hair, for example, just savage fights, real fighters. That's the way that I can describe it. They are the guys that get respect from everyone unanimously because of the way they've gone about their business and the dues that they've paid over the years and these spectacular performances. So it would be hard for us to say that we're expecting that from them, because it's almost a bit unfair, but we cross our fingers and we just hope for a great memorable fight and a big payday for these guys who deserve
I'm
it.
glad about the payday 100%. And that's so what was your fight of the night? What'd you think?
Oh, we had some good ones. I mean, Molly McCann and Kim put on a really good fight. The Erosa fight, it's tough. You know what? I'm going to give it to McCann and Ji Young Kim.
Already doing it. I'm already doing it. Yeah, because she did a really good job. Because Kim, when she came in using the range, but the aggression, she was doing everything kind of what we were talking about. Like I said yesterday when we were breaking down on the stream, watching the fights, and we were breaking it down. She was able to get inside, boom, boom, and throw those shots. And she was able to pressure and make Kim have to move away. And she was the more aggressive fighter. So I think my hat's off to her. It was that's got to be it for me, I think, as well.
And just she felt like she was maybe going to get her papers if she didn't win.
Very true.
So going into a fight with that kind of weight on your shoulders, I don't know. For some people, it's a bit freeing because it's like, I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
But if it was me, like, not that I've ever been close to that kind of opportunity, but I wonder how sink or swim.
Yeah.
Sink or swim in that, and she rose to the occasion. And it was actually a very typical meatball fight when she wins. Real good stuff. I think Khalil Roundtree deserves some money after, like, he would have blown up the internet tonight with that kind of technique.
It's and it's tough. You got to award him. It was nasty. It was violence, but it's what this sport is about. Which is, again, it was calculated. It was trained. Yeah. And it was perfect. It was on the money. Yeah. And it just, what he just did to Modesta, and he was letting you know he was going to do it. He sat there and he just kept bouncing. He just kept bouncing on his right leg, just letting him, bam. And then he just planted it. And now he just changed it. As if calf kicks weren't enough. Now we've got this. You know what I mean? So it's going to get worse. But, and then the other thing I was going to throw out there is, like, let's promote these socials. How do people get a hold of you, Mr. Gooden?
I've very cleverly, not that clever, John Gooden UK across everything. I do have my own YouTube, which I think is kind of an interesting one because we've got some technical breakdown stuff, which I've used to do with my coach. So, and that's evergreen. So we used to look at some fights, look at how particularly like with submissions and things, how it ended. And I'd ask him as a student, how did you get to that? So we have things like that. A lot of my interviews are on there. Some of the behind the scenes stuff from UFC fight weeks. I'm a DIY guy, got some DIY stuff. If you want to know how to fix your dishwasher, I'm your guy. So they got all sorts of stuff out there, man. I just put it up there and I'm looking to add more to it. I'm going to come back to Twitch for sure, but I think I'm most active on Instagram, Fight Nights on Twitter. But hey, listen, you'll catch me anywhere. I'm a sucker for a conversation.
I love it. Yeah, that's like with me, chat. You can get on me at, again, it's Twitch TV/Jens Pulver. I'll probably pop on here in a couple hours and watch some, I got bare knuckle fights. I got things to watch. Sumo's coming soon. Oh, do you do John? Are you sumo fan?
No, but I like the idea.
15 Days of Heaven, Teruno Fuji, Yokozuna. No, and then we got Hakuo is back. So I'm telling you, it's a good time. It's a good time, that sumo. 15 days. It's the greatest thing ever.
It came up on my feed the other day. Was it in Pride? It must have been in Pride because it was on the YouTube channel. Who was the enormous black guy that took on he must have been a Japanese fighter. He was so big, and Bas Rutten was on the call, and he ended up losing, but it was a lot of running around. But they were talking about sumo. He was like bigger than any sumo guy that they'd ever seen. And it was one of those kind of crazy fights that they put on in Japan. Can't remember who it was, but it's giving me the taste. It's giving me the taste.
But I'm telling you, I've been after so much the sumo. It is so much fun watching him. And Hakuo, he is the goat of super goats. When it comes to in sumo, he was sick and he came back, and then him and Teruno Fuji, that was Zulu Zilla or something, right? Forward Norward. I was gonna say it was like a Zulu or something. I think I remember. Yeah, bigger than, he was huge. I think his name was Zulu, if I'm correct. But no, not Bob Sapp. But it
wasn't Bob Sapp.
No, I think that Forward Norward put Zulu Zilla or something like that. He was a huge Zulu Zeno. Okay, Forward Norward is like, thank you, Forward Norward. But point is, and that's the one thing, it's just I got completely sidetracked after doing the Zulu Zeno. I'm stuck. But It's just too much fun. Anyways, but that's the one thing I love about it because Hakuo was probably the greatest sumo practice. I mean, he's the best. Teruno Fuji, chat knows how much I love Teruno Fuji, and now he's come back and he's Yokozuna. He won again. Well, he got second, but he had to win enough, and he got his Yokozuna. He had to go against Hakuo. They had a battle off, you know what I mean, for the finals, which was, again, it's a lot of fun. So I start every stream watching the night before when I pop in and we watch that day of sumo, and then we're off watching, you know what I mean, Mahacha, whatever it is. So, chat, you can catch me, Twitch TV/Jens Pulver. I'll be on later on. Or, as always, we'll be here Monday. I don't know who we're going to have as a guest yet, but I'm hoping somebody from this card that we will have on, and we're going to interview. The last Dana White's Contender Series person we interviewed went out there and scored a super jump knee, which was, so maybe we're becoming a good luck. Like, I want to be interviewed by Jens before I fight Dana White's Contender Series. I get this knockout, but we'll have to see. And as always, for me, if you're out there, at Jens Pulver is my Instagram. That's the one I love the most. I deleted it once, and now I'm rebuilding it and doing it again. So that's where I'm at on the Insta world. And after that, man, I tell you, that's pretty much it. We just get to say our goodbyes. Like I said, Mr. Gooden, it was a lot of fun with you, my friend.
Thanks for having me. This has been cool.
Chat, love and appreciate you. I'll definitely see you, like I said, Twitch TV/UFC on Monday. We're going to be breaking this down based on the theme. I don't even know what kind of theme we could have based on today, but after that, we're raiding somebody somewhere. We'll get it figured out. But I can't even thank y'all enough for your time. You could be anywhere in the world, and the fact you're in here with us, spending your time with us, I can't thank you enough. Much love and appreciation. We'll see y'all again. Be real.
Thank you.
Be good. Be real good. We'll see you later.